The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, October already, 2nd, 2023. This sports program starts now. Football is glorious, is it not? Saturday had a hell of a college football day, and NFL Week 4 Sunday was glorious, and it wraps up this evening as the Seahawks travel to take on the Giants, and there will be a Manning cast this evening, and Peyton will be joining us in about an hour and 14 minutes to chit-chat about who his guest is. Spoiler, Will Ferrell's on their show tonight. That was already released on Friday. So I'm not breaking any news there. That's already news that has been broken. So shout out to Peyton joining us in about an hour and 14 minutes. Adam Schefter will join us in about 29 minutes or so to talk about the injuries that took place yesterday. About 7 scattered around the NFL that are pretty notable. He'll have the breakdown on all those things. And we got a new king of the AFC. Listen. We all thought the Miami Dolphins were going to be able to boat race every single team that they stepped on the football field with. Mm-hmm. We thought they were going to hang 100 maybe in the next game as they hung 70 the week before against the Denver Broncos, who got a massive win against the Chicago Bears, who continue to suck. But the Miami Dolphins ended up going up to Western New York, and I don't think they've won up there for Gumpy. How long has it been since the Dolphins have won up there?
Yesterday would make it 8 years in a row.
8 years straight that they've lost in Buffalo, and all of us, and myself included, said, I don't care who the Miami Dolphins are playing. They're going to win. Have you seen the way they play football? Well, Josh Allen, fun fact, got some stats on him. Josh Allen, over his last 3 games now, he is 72 of 94.
Damn.
Okay, over his last 3 games. All right, is that good? In that time, he's only had 6 off-target throws. Okay, 6 off. He has 8 touchdowns. Okay, so 6 missed throws, 8 touchdowns over the last 3 games, and a 77% completion. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills are the wagon that we were talking about with the Miami Dolphins. We just weren't paying attention because the first week, they looked like complete ass. Stephon Diggs has 3 touchdowns. Gabe Davis has a touchdown.
What?
Josh Allen rushes for a touchdown.
What?
The Buffalo Bills are everything that we thought they were going to be last year when they were the hype of the AFC and of the NFL. And obviously, inevitably, they didn't end up winning it all, and they had a lot of adversity off the field. But those types of plays from that guy right there make me say the Buffalo Bills are now the number 1 team in the AFC.
Wow.
Ric Flair always said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Mm-hmm. Well, the man in all of our eyes were the men from Miami with that coach who wears super cool glasses, and he seems to be on top of everything. Well, they go into Buffalo, and Buffalo wins by 3 scores. Buffalo Bills are the real deal. They're back representing the AFC, and the Niners, congratulations, will be on the NFC side for seemingly the rest of the season. This Purdy dude is only getting better as he goes. We can't wait to chit-chat about everything happening around the NFL. We can't wait to talk to Shefty and Peyton, and I can't wait to introduce you to the toxic table that looks fantastic today at Boston Connor. A couple puppies there on the shirt. Is that because of how bad the Patriots are? Yins stink, buddy.
No, they're actually on the shirt because this is how I'm going to act for the rest of the year. I just want to be a dumb dog, and I just want to watch football. I don't want to do anything else. And yeah, you might say, hey, not all dogs are dumb. Just take a look at the shirt. There are a lot of dumb dogs, small dogs with small brains, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's a great reflection of what I want to be.
Hates America, hates dogs.
Yeah, this is a wild take.
How is that the case?
Kind of a wild take.
Look at these dogs. They're all dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one way to describe those dogs that are smarter than you, I would assume. But also on the flip side, like dogs are just always happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something bad happens, your dog's happy to see you. A dog right now would be great for you after what happened with the Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys and what's being exposed about Mac Jones seemingly every single week that we go on. Bill O'Brien, he's good. He's great. He's going to turn it around. 1 week ago, Mac Jones, the guy, he's able to do it. Now everybody's like, this Mac Jones guy stinks. Not only is he a dirty player, he's throwing the ball 53 1/3 across the field trying to throw pick sixes. Yeah. It's damn near communism. That's where Patriots are right now with Mac Jones.
100%. That was the worst game I've ever seen from Mac Jones in the entire 3-year tenure that he's had. It's over. It was a good run, good season. We're done with it. I mentioned right before the show, my football season now relies on a small boy back in Winchester, Massachusetts, who's the #1 kicker in the high school. And, he committed to Harvard. So things are looking up in Massachusetts at least.
That's your hometown?
That is the hometown, yes. And, hopefully that young, strong, big-legged boy can bring us some happiness in New England and maybe win us a couple football.
Well, the fact he's going to Harvard tells me that he doesn't care about making it to the NFL. I assume he's incredibly intelligent. And shout out to him. I think he made a 65-yard field goal.
Yeah.
This kid from your high school.
Yeah, absolute first high school. Absolute beast. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because he won 6 years, 2 high schools.
Bingo.
That's the way they do it in New England. But the way they do it in New England is not that. Worst loss in Belichick's era. Had a face wipe, had a what the I think he said the N word. I think he did a lot of that. And on the flip side, Dallas Cowboys all the way back. At Ty Schmidt, the other half of the toxic table, not a bad NFL Sunday or for all parties around there.
No, absolutely not. On the flip side of that, like every once in a while, the silver lining kind of finds you. I mean, Packers get their asses beat on Thursday night. They just get thoroughly embarrassed. I get to go into Sunday just enjoy the slate. We got a lot of great games today. It's kind of nice just being a fan of everybody and not having to watch your team and get all pissy with every single possession and, we can't stop the run. We can't pick up any first downs.
You're just watching ball.
We're just watching ball. A lot of great football games yesterday. I had an absolute blast.
Yeah, there was a couple blowouts, obviously. There was a couple big-time comebacks.
Yep.
And I think with the Eagles, let's remember, that was their first 1 o'clock game. So, that first half I thought was going to come quick, for all primetime. You go back into playoffs primetime. That's their first 1 o'clock game. Commanders came out, punched them in the mouth.
Yeah.
But then the Eagles answered. Then Sam Howell shows that he's got the cut of the right jib, taking them down there in fourth quarter. And Ron Rivera says, these guys are gassed.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
What about their team not being gas, Coach? What are we doing? 2 yards away? We want to continue to do this? We could steal one right now from the Philadelphia Eagles in the division. They choose not to do it. But it was a great Sunday slate leading into Sunday Night Football where Zach Wilson, the Cougar Hunter,
That's right.
the BYU kid, who's doing this at draft night.
Oh, yeah. Looking around.
Trying to fit in.
Yeah.
A man who's had a rough go over there in New Jersey, New York for that Jets fandom. Outplayed Patrick Mahomes on a Sunday Night Football game where we saw Patrick Mahomes throw 2 picks that we never see.
No. Weird.
Never see. That type of touch stuff is Patrick Mahomes. So maybe there was just a little bit more humility, or maybe that was this, Swifty breeze.
Yeah.
There's a Swifty breeze coming through there.
She was there again?
She was there. Also, Deadpool there.
Yep.
Wolverine there.
Yep.
And the chef from QE4 TSG,
Yes.
I've been told.
Really?
Correct.
I believe, yeah, right? Is that all right? Thank you.
Yeah, Anthony.
Anthony, who's from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, he was there in the crowd. Brittany Mahomes was obviously there.
She was
the whole crew. Diana Rossini was on this video. Before she was on this video, she was getting everything in there. But the energy and juice that was coming into that Sunday Night Football was obviously palpable.
Yes.
But now there's a whole new generation of people watching NFL football, and they're thinking Zach Wilson's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
Yes, they do.
And that is something that we got to kind of figure out. And I think this is good for Patrick Mahomes' experience. They get a win. They get past it. But this is just one of those, chip on his shoulder. His strength coach that he personally has is going to be able to pull from this. Andy Reid's going to be able to pull from this. Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to pull from this. Ultimately, in the end, I think this is going to make the Chiefs better, even though they got a win and he slides and saves the day at the end of the whole thing. But what I saw out of the Jets makes me think, hey, why not the Jets back in the playoff hunt this particular season? Aaron Rodgers told an NBC reporter that he's planning on coming back this season. We saw him walking just around with those crutches.
Look good.
And he said, let me get one. Spun the ball a little bit. What did you take away from last night's Sunday Night Football game, Tone Diggs? Trying to get the bad taste of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are out of your mouth and enjoying the hell out of Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and the boys on Sunday
they
night.
stink like Connor. I've moved on.
Smart.
You mean on the field last night?
Didn't you say Canada? No, I'm not getting into it.
But well, hold on. Where were you going with that one?
Well, it wasn't just Canada.
No.
Because I think he said they need to look at an entire readjustment of the entire organization.
All I was saying is if you are unwilling to make a change, it's going to start falling on your shoulders. That's all I said.
Oh.
Who's your?
Somebody I'll hire in the organization.
Then who?
Then the offensive coordinator, maybe even higher than the head coach.
Oh, higher than
Sell the team?
So you
The Roonies need to step in and say, get this guy out of here.
That Canada guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think you're the only one that feels that way. I think the entire world has felt that way. But the first time I've ever heard you say another name that wasn't the Roonies, wasn't the general manager, wasn't the offensive coordinator. It was that other piece. That is very
I ain't saying it on this program.
No, but in the group text, Tone goes, maybe they should look at firing Tomlin.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, so you didn't say it.
I thought that was a safe place.
No, yeah, Tone said it. Tone was in his emotions. So to get past that, and congrats to C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
he is
a player.
Yeah, he's a guy. And D'Amico Ryan seems to have them flying around. Congrats to Houston Texans. We thought that juice would go towards TJ, and we thought that would go towards the Pittsburgh team. Instead,
it didn't.
Pittsburgh Steelers were dead. And on the flip side, C.J. Stroud's a dude. I mean, absolute dog. And the way they were able to attack Kenny, I mean, look out for Houston.
Seriously.
That's not a
Two big wins in a row for them. Are we talking Sunday night on the field or just the
entire thing?
Absurd coverage of what's happening with Taylor Swift and Travis.
Oh, you hate it.
Absurd.
No, I didn't hate it, but it was on the Sunday night in America on Sunday night program.
Football.
I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
Yep.
It was every 3 seconds.
You know the name of Football Night in America.
Yes,
it was every 3 seconds, and the people on that panel aren't the most up to date with the what's going on in America. So I wouldn't say what they were talking about.
Well, what's going on in America, Tony?
Just in American lore right now.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, all right, sure.
Like,
that makes sense what you're saying.
Right.
Like, I don't know if Garrett and Sims are the guys that should be talking about what's going on with Taylor Swift and stuff like that. But, you know, the NFL's now got it in their bios. It's the NFL's.
A lot of people very pissed about how this whole thing's going.
Yeah.
It was cute. We were happy for him. Now I got to deal with every single first commercial break. Taylor Swift movie coming out. Theaters only. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go watch. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna go. Second commercial break. The actual first commercial, because they were doing a shot of Times Square, was actually a commercial for Taylor Swift's movie in Times Square. So second commercial break, first commercial. Also Taylor Swift by way of the Times Square kind of cutaway. And then they ran another commercial of it at the end. And then Pacheco scores, and he's about to do his, we can't even get to, they go straight up to, we're happy in there. So we would like to let the Swifties know we appreciate the hell of you guys watching football.
Yep.
But there are some people in the football community that are not thrilled about how it's going. And I think that is only the beginning because there's a lot of people that think this isn't real love.
What? Who thinks that?
Not me.
What son of a bitch?
I want names.
Now.
Just look on the internet. There's a lot of people that think this maybe isn't real. And I would like to let everybody know, as a friend of Travis Kelce, very lucky. I think we consider ourselves friends. Sure. You know, he lives in a different city. I live in this city. We don't really talk. Yeah, so I don't know. We're close.
That's today's friends.
Close acquaintances.
We are acquaintances. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I am thrilled for him. And you know, Taylor, her love story's been documented.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy for her because I think Travis is going to be the guy. She seemed genuinely pumped that entire time for Travis. People seem to be missing that. I think the reason why football fans are so mad is, well, watching football. Okay, all right. You're never going to be able to get that out of people.
Right.
But also, I think a lot of people think they're getting worked right now. Oh. You know what I mean? They think it's kind of a work.
Does she respect football?
I think she does.
Then what was Travis doing at her place on Saturday night when he's got a game on Sunday?
He slept at the team hotel. He woke up as early as possible, went and visited her, brought her coffee because he's a gentleman, which is exactly what we've been talking about this entire time.
I just hope he doesn't lose sight of number one.
He had a ball a lot.
Yeah, he looked good.
He had a ball a lot last night. And to be honest, what the Jets defense was able to do in the second half, they tightened that thing real down.
Oh, yeah.
That Jets defense is a real deal. Joining us now is a guy who's a part of many defenses, great defense, a guy who played safety, nickel, and corner, host of the Man to Man podcast and NFL matchups this week. Great episode. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. D-Butt, whenever you see Patrick Mahomes perform the way he did last night, what do you think to yourself, and what are your thoughts going forward for this Chiefs offense? Are they worried?
I think, number one, don't panic. You know, because that's the first thing to do. You see him, throwing interceptions, but that's kind of been, honestly, who he is. He's a great player. He's obviously going to make great plays 95% of the time. but he's going to give you a few opportunities a game. And for some reason, throughout his career, people have dropped him. The Jets, they caught a few of them, caught one late, and they got a flag.
Ooh.
A little bit late after that. But don't panic.
You talking about Sauce?
Yeah, he salted him.
Yep.
He did.
There he
it
is.
was physical.
I don't think it was. I was asleep at this time, so I only seen the highlights here. I don't know if this was PI or holding. What was
They
it?
call holding.
Holding.
So that's what. Whenever I saw it, it felt like that was a hold. I passed out. By the way, I'm getting old, man.
It's getting tough.
I'm watching these games the next morning. I feel like I watched Skip Bayless. They ran a commercial for Skip Bayless, like he was on his bike watching all the games. That's what I feel like now is this old ass man catching up to the end of this. Here's some stats about the end of last night's game.
Here we go.
Okay, here's some stats about the end of last night's game. Mahomes only threw for 99 yards and threw 2 picks in the last 8 drives of that game. That never happens.
Ever.
Normally, it's the complete opposite there. So maybe we need to be recognizing how great this Jets defense is because over the last couple weeks, it's not been talked about at all. Going into the season, it's like, hey, Aaron Rodgers has a defense that's going to be top 3, top 5 in the league. Then the first couple weeks without Aaron, Zach Wilson in there, they're like, offensive line not good. Defense also, what have they been? Last night, they locked it down. This is what we need to see, right?
Absolutely. You need to see it week in and week out. And part of that is the quarterback and the offense moving the ball, putting points up, keeping the chains moving, because that gives the defense an opportunity to rest. I don't care how good your defense is. If every time you go on the sideline and you hear, hey, punt ready, a minute after being on the sideline, you're going to get worn down. You're going to get points put on your head. But defense played great. Started up front with the guys getting after the quarterback and making them uncomfortable. But I think the Chiefs in that offense will be okay. They kind of always start off a little slow. And then
You know what I enjoyed, Ty?
What's
and
that?
I think you'll appreciate this. And you too, Connor.
Okay.
Because although you are the talks table, you do like some good team chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron traveled out there the night before and said, I'm sick of the finger pointing.
Yeah.
I can't have it. Felt like everybody was there to lift up Zach Wilson.
It did.
There was arms around shoulders.
Yeah.
There was conversations. LeBron James got in on the action. Hey, Zach, good work, kid. You know what I mean? It felt like everybody was rallying around Zach Wilson. I don't know how Jets fans were reacting in the stadium there early, and I don't know how everybody else is, but it did feel like there was much more of, hey, we don't hate Zach Wilson as much as maybe it appeared publicly we did in the past. And I think that's directly attributed to Old Stash coming back and saying, hey, boys, what did you learn about Aaron and his presence last night? He's moving much better than I think any of us could have imagined.
That is the first thing that shocked me is the pace at which he was moving on those crutches. It was like, oh, shit, he might be back week 10, week 11. So the Jets just need to tread water until he might. But I think you're right. I think he's just a calming presence. He's kind of and Saleh said this like leading up to the season, like he's another coach, and these guys look up to him and respect him in that way. But I think it was one of those things too, where like Zach Wilson, he just he's so inside his head right now, and I'm sure having Rodgers there who probably talked to him pregame, and I don't know if he was, on the headset at all and could communicate with him.
He was on his phone there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He was
I
on
think he
his
was
phone.
checking stats there, see how Zach was doing.
But I think it might have been one of those things where he wanted to show out for Rodgers a little bit, and it's like it looked like he was playing with confidence, which like what we've talked about, leading up to that game last night all year is like this guy's broken. He has no confidence. He obviously has all the physical traits that you need to be good in the NFL playing quarterback, but he just had no confidence. And last night he was just letting it rip, and then his guys were going out and making plays for him too.
Speaking of letting it rip, Tommy Townsend hit a post-safety punt, 80 yards in the air. Okay? So that is so far. Just like 80 yards in the air, it's like a 70-yard punt in the air pretty much. Like my career long is 74 yards, I think, and I got like 16-yard roll for that whole thing. Because remember, when it comes to punting, we don't get the credit for the behind the scrimmage. So it's just from the line of scrimmage. Normally, guys hit the ball about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So if you hit a 55-yard punt, that's actually a 65-yard punt from where you're punting it from. Field goals count from where the ball was placed. Punts only count from the line of scrimmage because it's how many yards you're gaining in a punt, which is the only thing that matters. So after a safety, when you're standing out there all by yourself, it's weird, first of all. I don't think I've ever gotten comfortable doing it. In my practicing, it's even kind of weird because you're standing there, you spin the ball to yourself. As you spin the ball, it's like that's the go, and then you just got to punt it. He hit the ball so far, and they cut away. They didn't even show it pretty much because they were highlighting how it wasn't supposed to be a safety with the face mask happening in the field of play as opposed to in the end zone. And this safety kind of really moved the momentum in the Jets' favor heavily. I mean, it felt like there was real juice in the building in the way the Jets were playing. But Tommy Townsend needs to be right. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that far in my life. I mean, I'm sure there has been somewhere. That was phenomenal. Just with how uncomfortable it is. Shout out to Tommy Townsend.
Yeah.
And also for a nice reminder, just in case I ever start thinking, I should go back to the league. Yeah, I shouldn't. That guy was phenomenal. Speaking of,
Great walk.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy, I'm a big fan of old Tommy. He's got great hair. Rookie year in a Super Bowl, just got dropped in there. Didn't hit his best ball. Was excited to see how he was going to respond. He's a dog. He's come back stronger, better than ever. He's a massive piece of that team because normally when you play on very good offenses, you're only punting like 1 or 2 times. And when you punt, by the way,
It matters.
hey,
Big time.
this is really matters. Guys that punt for bad teams are punting the ball 6, 7, 8 times a game, and it's like you can have 4 or 5 misses. You know what I mean? As long as your other 3 are big, because it's a game of averages. That's literally what punting is. When you're punting once or twice, first of all, you got to stay in the game. First of all, you got to stay, or second of all, you got to stay warm. And then last but not least, when you're punting, it's normally going to be a pretty, like, hey, come on, you didn't do anything today. All right, we need like a 60-yarder right now. It's like, all right, well, here we go. I always appreciated that whenever, because I was very lucky. The guy is going to join us in about an hour or so, Peyton, and I had never experienced a game where I didn't punt. Always the goal, and I'm on the side of that for sure. But everybody's like, must be the easiest job on earth. It's like, well, I wish I was punting 10 times a game. Get into a nice groove,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Do the whole thing, hit 6 of them, hit some 4 good ones. No pressure ever. We stink. Let's just move to the next one. So Tommy Townsend, very proud of you, pal. That was a great ball. That was a great ball, too. Speaking of people we're proud of, how about the Buffalo Bills?
Man.
Stephon Diggs, 3 touchdowns. We saw the highlight earlier. Him breaking that tackle whenever he should have went down. Absolute dog mentality. I loved everything about it. But Josh Allen, after that first week where he played not great, and everybody was talking about how the Bills are maybe going to have a down year, and there's some stuff happening behind the scenes. This guy wants out. This coach isn't doing the right thing. This stuff isn't happening. Drama in Buffalo is what we all thought after the first week, and that's because result-oriented business like the NFL, since then, they've been untouchable. And they absolutely sunned your Miami Dolphins this weekend and brought them back down to reality. Are the Dolphins dead, or are the Bills much better than we could have ever imagined?
Nah, Dolphins will be back. Tough opponent, and fortunately we'll see that team again. But Josh Allen, he's been incredible. Since that week 1, Blub, he came out and took ownership, said, hey, that's on me, can't do it, same shit over and over. And from then on, Raiders, Commanders, and now you had the Dolphins like, okay, this is a real team, this is a real test. And just rubbed the floor with him. And Diggs kind of set the tone from the jump. Even didn't get matched up with Xavier Howard as much as I would have liked, but set the tone as a dog. And then Josh Allen being able to be under center and hand the ball off to those running backs, play action off of that, and then just make good decisions when he's on the move. Obviously, his arm, he can make all the throws in the world. Tough team to stop right now.
Okay, let's talk about the Bills' defense, too. Because obviously massive love to stop a team that just scored 70. They played 71% zone yesterday, which is the highest this season by far. Ton of cover, too. Feels like that's the right play from McDermott and the boys with the Buffalo Bills.
Play some 2 and some palms coverage. And that was a question with the Bills, too.
Palms coverage, what the hell is that?
Losing Leslie Frazier. So now you have Sean McDermott calling the defense again. So palms is basically quarters coverage, but it can also turn into 2 depending on what the number 2 receiver does. So it's quarters basically until it's not. So if
safe.
If number 2 breaks out within the 6 yards or less, then that corner rolls up and it becomes cover 2. But they played a lot of that, and they were on point. They were disciplined, and the guys rushing the passer are dogs.
Okay, so Tua had only been sacked once in 3 games. Okay, yesterday he was sacked 4 times. They're up to 16 sacks and 11 takeaways for the Buffalo Bills defense. Those both lead the league, and they're without Von Miller.
Employer
yesterday. Lost Tre'Davious White yesterday.
Yeah, that looked like
Achilles, they're saying.
Milano and Hyde were flying around, though, all day.
Yeah, Hyde on the ball, by the way. He got some wiggle. I thought he was about to take that thing
He used the punt return, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah, and Green.
He looked very comfortable with the rock. I mean, I love that. Hold it out like this, too. Yeah, I'm big. Spin move?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, this Buffalo Bills team was under the radar. Then week 1 sent them under the entire NFL conversation. And then it's like, the Jets' new toy. Miami Dolphins.
Lambeau.
New toy. And the Buffalo Bills found themselves in a situation with how successful they've been over the last few years to be able to pull from, nobody likes us.
Yep.
And that type of mentality, that type of thing, if used properly, can really flip a switch. And since week 2, this team has been dominant. And we need to start paying attention more. That's including me. I'm not talking about, finger pointing here.
Sure.
I'm saying I thought the Dolphins were just going to beat the hell out of them. I had no idea that Diggs was going to stone cold some beers after scoring a touchdown, after running through a guy and then scored 2 more. The team still has all the players we've hyped up over the last couple of years, and they've put it together. More respect needs to be shown for Bills Mafia, I do believe, from us.
Yeah, especially when they're playing in Buffalo, because that was one of, if not the best environment yesterday and in these, few early
You're talking about Lucas Oil Stadium?
Well, Lucas Oil was definitely a great environment, but,
I don't know what this song's called. I think it's called Maria, Say It Loud or something like that. And you got to go to about 1:06 into it. But the Indianapolis Colts have found their stadium song.
Yeah. Okay.
They have found their stadium song, and it is glorious.
People actually get out of their seats for once?
Not just out of their
People dancing.
We're talking people that probably haven't danced in years.
Yeah, going off.
Jumping, whole place.
Crazy.
And then Anthony Richardson starts doing Anthony Richardson stuff, and all of a sudden we almost steal the freaking win. But Matthew Stafford is an artist with the football. Watching him live yesterday from where our seats are at the end of the end zone or whatever, first of all, the spiral is
tight. So tight.
So perfect. And he puts it, it's literally like he's shaping. He pulled this one over one of our safeties that then defied physics and then turned straight down into, I forget whose hands, and then the guy got crushed by like 2 different and he's just dealing out there. Hurt his hip about quarter 2, I think, but that was the one right there, to Puka. Yeah, and him and Puka are just an unstoppable force. This guy, 5th rounder out of BYU, watching him in person, awesome. Always happy too. His vibes on the field are immaculate. His obvious ability is through the roof. And then he's got a quarterback that loves him in Matthew Stafford and is looking for him. I really appreciated watching the Rams play yesterday. I didn't love that we were just getting boat raced early, but I like the cut of our boy's jib.
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson came back. 360 Spike is back in this thing. Colts fans, I think, I don't want to speak for everybody. I left there going, all right, we found a song for the stadium. Okay. We found a song for the stadium. Jim Irsay danced at halftime.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim Irsay danced at halftime with his granddaughters in the
like a first dance, like a wedding.
It was like youth cheerleaders. They had choreographed routine, but he did.
Jim danced.
Jim Irsay came out, golf cart out there. Wasn't that song? Should have been. They need to play that song for everything in that stadium. But yeah, Jim Irsay danced yesterday at halftime.
His dog pooped on the field.
Drake, the dog, did poop on the 45-yard line while Jim was dancing. He was so excited, all over himself.
Big dog.
They had to clean that up. It was that was a whole scene. I had to get trainers involved with some water before the second half kickoff could happen. But it was and we learned that Anthony Richardson not gonna quit. Okay, he fought back. The team didn't get rattled. Shane Steichen's still out there coaching to win. I think Colts fans happy, and I assume Rams fans very happy with a big-time win on the road, especially with how that's a 4-hour flight after what happened. They feel like they've been in every game. They're like, hey, we beat Seattle in Seattle. Niners,
close.
That one we should have had, and we all know what the Niners are now. Then they beat the Colts yesterday. I think they proved a lot. But just know Lucas Oil Stadium is no longer a Lucas Oil Library. Okay. That is
for now.
Forever.
Well, yeah.
We got an exciting brand of football now.
Were they pumping noise in again, or was it
week 1?
Week 1.
I mean, obviously we lost, but
you know that song, dude. You heard it.
Yeah.
But it hadn't really resonated
yet.
Second half yesterday, as the Colts are coming back, that thing's playing, and they got shots all around on the Jumbotron, which needs to be bigger. That needs to be bigger. But they're everybody in there doing the bushwhackers pretty much. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. But you're right. Bills Mafia always going to bring it. Tough place to play up there.
Yeah, impossible place to play. And then you just think of the storylines we've been talking about with Miami, let alone the team as a whole. But like we're talking about Tua and we're talking about Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, probably both not disrespected because they've been playing so well, but probably want that conversation to be a little different, especially after the last few years for Buffalo.
And you probably know what the
so on Saturday, your team, the Miami Dolphins, were wearing the thinking emojis, I think, on their shirts. And I don't know if Josh heard the real reason why they were wearing those emojis, or if he thought it was disrespectful, or if he was just saying, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the thinking
I
emoji.
saw him do it. I was like, oh, what is that?
Hey, they were vibing yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Vibing.
Whole team.
Boat raced us.
Both sides.
Yeah, because there was a time at the beginning, it was like there wasn't an incompletion until
First 5 possessions, I think they scored touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom, bang, pow, boom. It was a lot of fun. I mean, that was a fun game to watch.
Achan.
Hey,
He had a great game.
Again.
he's so good.
He's so good.
I'm not telling anybody.
I know.
I'm not telling him. Gumpy, diehard Dolphins fan. What are you calling him? Your mic's muted.
Okay.
A-Chain, I'm sticking with it. He's been playing well since it's been A-Chain. That's what we're going with.
As soon as we find out it's A-Chan, they lose.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, still has 100 on the ground, 2 tuds.
And explosive.
Yeah.
Very explosive. He is very quickly adapted to the NFL, just like C.J. Stroud down there at Houston. Now, it was J.J. Watt Ring of Honor Day, so we thought maybe T.J. Watt would get a little bit of a boost from that. Also, Mrs. Mama Watt's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So, Mama Watt's birthday, J.J. Watt, happy birthday. J.J. Watt's Ring of Honor, where he brings out baby Koa here. It's an incredible scene where he can't high five everybody, though. So, happy the baby's there, but they put boys on both sides. So, he's trying to be a good teammate. Boom, bang, pow, try and catch everybody. Can't miss that guy.
Yep.
Missed the guy.
Ooh. Missed that
Missed
guy.
2 guys.
Yeah.
Just wait, there's kids coming, though. It's about to be a full scene here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, look, got to get the kids. All the guys on the other side. Yep, what up? Thank you for coming. Kid, need to get the kid. So, it's quite a scene there.
Yeah, it's a duel.
Excited for what's going on through his head while he's doing that with it. But C.J. Stroud, I think he's breaking like everybody's records right now. I think Cam Newton's the only one that he hasn't been able to surpass for some sort of record. He's a guy.
Yes.
And we saw him play against Georgia.
Right.
And we did a mega cast.
Yep.
And that was the game I guess he ran the most last year or whatever the case was. I don't know. I didn't do it. This is what Ohio State Buckeyes fans were saying. That's the most we've seen him use his feet in a long time. We're standing on the sideline, and I think it took us, 3 plays? We're that's an NFL quarterback right there.
Yep.
That guy, I would like him to be with the Indianapolis Colts. Then some testing results came out.
Yeah, the S2 deal.
The S2 thing, and then there was other stuff
Manning
coming out.
Passing Academy.
Which always, he didn't go to the Manning Passing Academy. It's like all these stories start coming out during the draft, the success of previous Buckeye quarterbacks. And it's like through the first 4 weeks, this dude's an NFL quarterback already. I mean, he's already. Growing pains don't seem to be real. The way they protected against Highsmith and TJ Watt, it's like the Houston Texans are in a completely different spot than they have been in a while. And D'Amico Ryans and the boys down there need to be incredibly proud. Congrats, CJ and the Texans. You just completely demoralized Pittsburgh. You got one Steelers fan saying, fire Tomlin, I guess. And he's never said
me.
that.
Yeah.
Ever.
That was you.
I would never.
Whoa, Tony.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who might have a little bit more information on a lot of the moves that are being called for around the NFL. There's a lot of them taking place. Carolina, there's a couple. Pittsburgh, there's a couple. New England, there's a couple. I mean, Chicago, there's a lot of conversation about what the hell's going to happen where. There's one man who has the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, senior insider for the NFL for ESPN, Adam Schefter.
What's going on, guys? Happy Monday to you. Thanks for the introduction. Let me just say this, Pat. Great performance on Saturday. Gave you the shout out on X there. I mean, there are many people who are yakking in between segments and coming back and getting back on there. Great job there.
I appreciate that. And I don't know if you looked at the numbers for that particular post on X. I mean, it was a lot of people saw that. A lot of people saw that, Shefty. And I sent you a text calling it a hilarious tweet. And I do appreciate that. Yeah, I think. And there was a bunch of people, I think you probably saw in your mentions, they're like, oh, he's hung over. It's like, bud, please.
Yeah.
Please have a little respect. Okay?
Yeah.
I was at Duke.
Hey.
Hey. Please.
My sources tell me there was a bad dessert that was eaten the night before.
Yeah, well, your source is pretty on target. Yeah, because that wasn't so I woke up, and we got to dive into it, I guess, now, and Shefty, I hate wasting any of your time. We appreciate you doing this.
All good.
So Friday, I eat this fruit thing.
Sure.
Okay, I eat this fruit thing. Not a big fruit guy to begin with, but while I'm eating the fruit, I'm like, this is interesting tasting. So I go back to my room, go to bed. 3:30 a.m. Oh, we got an oven.
Oh no.
We got a fire in the oven.
Yeah.
Basement, clear out.
Okay.
That's 3:30. So I go back, lay down. Oh, we're back 4:15. Oh, we're back 6 a.m.
Yep.
But then I thought it was all out. There can't be anymore. Literally with everything that just happened, can't be anymore. So I'm walking to the set. I walk to the set in the mornings. Like, I enjoy it. As I'm walking, I start burping a little bit. And I'm like,
gross.
Oh, wait a minute. So as the show is literally starting, I'm like burping. I'm like pulling away from the desk. And Herb Street's like, what's going on? I'm like, buddy, I think I got nothing else is wrong with me. I don't have a fever, but it's just like something's cooking. He goes, are you going to puke? I go, oh, I think so. He starts laughing. Obviously, Herbstreit starts laughing at me. So for the first hour and a half, I'm just like in between mouth sweats, swallow, actual sweats. When we go over to the thing for Coach Elko and Riley Leonard's mom comes up, if you watch that back, I'm trying to stay out of the camera as far as possible because there's a chance right in front of those incredible Duke people.
Yeah.
I'm releasing the hands right there. So Riley Leonard's mom comes up, swallow one. Thank you.
How you doing?
Yeah, you suck. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Lady, I appreciate you. Yeah, it was tough.
He sucks, and you sucked it up.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
I had to do it. But anyways, after the field goal thing, we're walking through, I think, the Duke Divinity Building. Okay? For those that don't know what divinity means, I looked it up. God.
Yeah.
So in front of Duke Chapel there, one of the nicest buildings I've ever seen. We're walking through there, mouse sweat's coming. It's almost like trash can right there. So I'm in a corner of this beautiful building, just getting it all out. And as soon as it exits, I'm like, man.
Feel great?
I feel a million times better. I get right back out there. I had to wipe all the sweat off me. I appreciate you reporting on it. And I appreciate everybody thinking that Duke would get me to a point that I'd be so hungover I'd puke. Have some respect. Please. Not only for me, but for Duke. You think I'm going to do that to Duke? And also, those game day mornings, I'm up at 6 a.m. So, like, we're not really tying things on Friday nights.
No.
Although if I was younger, this would be a great show to be.
Oh, yeah.
This would be a great show to be part of. Let's move on. NFL Sunday, Shefty. There were some injuries. We made a graphic here. I don't know how much information you have on all these guys. What's the most notable? That Herbert middle finger injury sounded disgusting, looked disgusting. He finishes the game. Are they doing surgery or what's next for Justin Herbert and his finger?
Well, he came back and finished the game, and he's got a bye this week. So the bye comes at a good time. It looks like it was dislocated, and I'm sure he'll rest. And that doesn't sound like he's going to miss any time. So that's the good thing. I think we're waiting on Kenny Pickett. That looks like the one that could cause him to miss a little bit of time here. Matthew Judon, he's going to be out indefinitely. That's a bad injury for the Patriots defense. Mike Evans has a bye this week. Hamstring, not a big deal at all. Stafford said he's going to keep playing. T. Higgins has a rib injury. He could miss some time. There's your board there. Christian Gonzalez, we haven't heard about his shoulder yet.
Okay. Hey, all right. First of all,
I like that. It's like trading cards of injuries. Like you could just put them up and like, what grabs your attention? Okay, this guy not great. Oh, Tre'Davious White, of course. That was I just noticed the Tre'Davious White in the corner there, and that was the most significant injury on Sunday. Terrible. You knew it right when it happened, and went down with the Achilles. He knew. Everybody knew. And it's unfortunate. They're waiting for the MRI to confirm it today, but usually in a case like that, you don't need the MRI to confirm what everybody there seemed to know.
Trey White had to battle back, right? Didn't he just get back from an injury?
He's been playing well, too. Had a pick last week against the Commanders. He's been playing well, so it's gutted for him.
So sorry to all these guys getting injured. This is a part of the NFL process. I don't think I heard you. Kenny Pickett with the knee, that's nothing to be worried.
I don't know that yet. We're waiting. I mean, he's having tests done today, I would think, and we'll get more of an update, but I don't have clarity as to how long he'll be out yet.
Okay, let's talk about some of the coaching situations around the NFL and if they're starting to happen. I know we're only 4 weeks into this thing, not even finished with week 4 tonight. But you think about what's going on in some of these places. For instance, the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's an offense coordinator named Matt Canada who has not been able to put up a 400-yard game in how many years now?
Ever, Pat.
39 games.
39 games, which I guess is everybody else has done at least 9.5 times or something like that around the NFL. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have just had an inept offense from the very beginning of this entire thing, of his start. Tomlin, for the first time, kind of addressed making a change. Normally, he's just like this the whole time. What do you think happens in Pittsburgh with Matt Canada, and how do you think it plays out, Shefty?
Well, there were a lot of people around the league who thought, obviously, that his job was in jeopardy after last season. And Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, typical to their personality, stayed the course, rode it out. They've been amongst the most stable franchises in all of sports. Mike Tomlin himself yesterday sounded a tone that you don't normally hear. He was the one who said there are going to be changes. Now, I don't know that they're firing Matt Canada today. I haven't heard that. He stood by him. But clearly they have to do something to shake up the offense. The problem is, we're 4 games into the season, 23.5% done with the season. What do you want him to do at this point in time? Like, you think they're going to fire him and bring in an offensive coordinator and overhaul the offense at this point in time? They're sort of stuck right now in the position that they are, and there were a lot of people who felt like they should have made this change at the end of last year. That was the time to do it. Once you get in season, it's just a little bit more challenging. Not that they can't do it, not that they can't promote somebody else and have somebody else run the offense. Mike Tomlin was the one yesterday who out loud said there are going to be changes. I don't know what those changes are yet, but he sounded like a man determined to shake it up a little bit.
What if it was Ben Roethlisberger, Shefty?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if it was Ben Roethlisberger coming back, calling plays, doing his thing? Pittsburgh would lose their mind. We would be without footballing, which is the podcast.
Yeah.
But he knows the language, knows the plays, knows everything. I mean, that could be an easy transition, but that would be quite a big ask for a guy who's in retirement. Let's go to Carolina. There's a press conference where Frank Reich basically admits that he makes a massive mistake in a play call to one of his biggest players. And if you think about what Carolina was able to do last year with not Frank Reich and basically same roster, better quarterback, and now with Frank Reich, what is the conversation over there? I'm assuming they're not going to make any changes. Obviously, first year, rookie quarterback and everything like that. But did they think this was going to go a little bit better, a little bit differently with Coach Frank Reich?
Well, I think that they had to assume it was going to go a little bit better. Right now, they're sitting there with the second pick in the draft. The offensive line looks shaky. Bryce Young, they're waiting for him to emerge. Like, here's the thing. You put on the games and you watch, and it just feels like right away C.J. Stroud has popped. He's thrown 151 passes, hasn't thrown an interception, looks calm, cool, collected, and composed. You watch Anthony Richardson. He looks like a man among boys out there. You watch Bryce Young, and players develop at different rates. But we haven't seen what we've seen so far from Stroud and Richardson so far through 4 games, whatever that means. So I think that that's a little bit worrisome. You're sitting there knowing that they're going to have one of the worst records in football this year, and they're not going to have their first-round pick next year. It's going to be in the hands of the Chicago Bears. So I think there are some questions there that they have to answer. It has not started out the way that they would like. They have not impressed so far. But we're only 4 games in, Pat. There's time to go, right?
Yeah, and then your head coach, and listen, I love Frank Reich. I was very lucky to be a player when Frank Reich was coaching at the Indianapolis Colts. Every human appreciates Frank Reich, the human being. At the Indianapolis Colts here, it didn't work out. The culture, we're learning about what the culture was behind the scenes, and don't love that happened. And then yesterday at his press conference, he was very transparent. Well, I called a play for Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen was not on the field playing, so I got to know that better, and yeah, it's like, whoa,
but
inside voice. We don't need to hear that, you know?
He's got a great staff. I mean, that is a really strong staff. Jim Caldwell and Thomas Brown and Josh McCown. He's got some real brain power on that staff there. I don't know. They step in and help him prevent him from brain cramps like that in the future. I don't know what happened, why that happened yesterday, but their staff is too talented to make mistakes.
Oh, the internet, as soon as they watch it, all Panthers fans are like,
this
guy! This is the guy! I mean, that's the NFL, though. That's what it is, yeah. Jim Caldwell, I love him as well, and that entire staff. Hopefully they'll be able to figure it out, but boy, they had to have thought it was going to go differently. Connor has a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, Shefty, a week ago today, we're talking about Kirk Cousins or someone going to the New York Jets. Is that completely out the window now that Zach Wilson played the first good game in his entire career? And
it was great.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know. That's what I said.
Take it easy, Rodney.
It's the first time he's ever had 2 touchdowns and no picks. Yeah, I'm not
okay.
Go
yeah, what do you want to talk Chris Jones? Tell him to bury him?
No, I'm not going full Rodney. I'm just pointing out a statement of fact that was his first great game.
All right. Well, Connor, you asked if it's out the window. I don't know that it was ever in the window. Everybody was talking about it. You know, they wanted it to happen. They wanted the Jets to trade for Kirk Cousins. But once the Vikings did that, they're signing off on their season. They just won a game yesterday. Nobody in that division so far is running away with it. Detroit's been very impressive so far with what it's done.
They're running away with it, Shefty.
A little bit.
Yeah, man. We're taking off, man. They're not just running with it. They're flying with it. But you're right. There's still a way to backdoor in the playoffs over there.
So that's why you're not trading Kirk Cousins away. And that's why it hasn't come up, and that's why they haven't considered it so far. And look, that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for Zach Wilson to show some signs of life that he did yesterday, that you're waiting for this light to go on. You're waiting for all the Swifties to wonder, hey, maybe they should be benching, as you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes, not Zach Wilson. My daughter last night, my son texted me. He's like, I can't get our daughter, who's turning 15 years old tomorrow, he can't get her away from the TV. She's never been like that. Now, why was that last night, right? It was Taylor Swift. So she watched it, and she's like, what's all this talk about Zach Wilson? He's pretty good.
Handsome, too, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is.
Hey, he's got that
Strapping
boy.
lad.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you see all the boys, arms over their shoulder, over his shoulders. Hey, he made a mistake. We all made a mistake. We appreciate him. It's a much different tone around Zach Wilson. So
Well, I noticed Zach Wilson after I lost the game with that fumble. I lost the game. That was different than the stuff that he was saying last year.
Imagine Aaron next to him. Remember,
Yeah.
we lost this. You and I lost this game. Yeah, that's part of the job, pal. That is just how this whole thing goes. I appreciate that taking place. A report from NBC, I forget who got it. Aaron told them that he will be back this season. Is that what you're hearing as well? Because honestly, people would think that we would have heard that. He kind of alluded to it in the first interview whenever we were at Colorado. We were drinking Terramana tequila with The Rock, and he was on some painkillers, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that were being said there, who knows what's real, what isn't. But he alluded to, like, no timetables. I'm going to get back as soon as possible.
Right.
AJ said this season, and he said, I'm not ruling anything out. Then last night they report that he said he's thinking this season. Is that what you're hearing as well? And how would that be possible?
It's all the same. It's just the language you want to use. He's going to try to keep coming back for this season, but there are a few things that essentially have to happen, right? Like the Jets have to stay alive. They have to keep it competitive. They have to give him a reason to come back. He has to be coming along in his rehab and his progress enough so that he can get back in time. So there are a whole slew of factors that have to work together to get him. Does he want to come back? Is he going to shoot to come back? Absolutely. Can he do it? Yeah, he can do it. But there still are so many things that have to happen to put it into place that it's just a premature idea in my mind right now. Doesn't mean he won't do it. Everybody wants to see the guy back as soon as possible. But how are the Jets playing? Is he coming back if the Jets are 5-10 to play the last 2 weeks? No, I don't think.
Yeah, you just said Zach Wilson's going to stink the rest of the year.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, Shefty,
Tell
you
him,
did.
Shefty.
Shefty, you did.
Tell him, Shefty.
Because that defense, they held Patrick Mahomes 99 yards over the last 8 drives, 2 picks. I mean, they made him look nothing. Who was that? Is there any breaking news right there, Shefty? Any breaking news?
Somebody's texting me. It's all good.
Is it breaking? Anything breaking? Anything sweet?
Nothing breaking at this moment, no.
Oh, is something cooking, though? That's kind of a seed there that's cooking?
Ooh.
Something's always cooking, Pat.
Hell yeah.
I love that, Shefty. Hey, I've heard from people that used to work with you that are now with Game Day. They talk about just like your absurd work ethic, how like 2:30 text message comes. He's somehow up, bang, how we doing? We're back in it. So I got massive respect for you, pal. Diggs has a question for you.
Shefty, fun fact, the Steelers actually aren't the worst offense in the NFL. The Bengals are actually 32nd in points, yards per play, and touchdowns. So I want my question for you there is, what is going on in Cincinnati? A little bit of a pundit there, and is there any insider info on what's going on with the Bengals offense?
Well, I think that they've been one of the most disappointing teams so far. I mean, I was around them this summer for one day, and I left there thinking the energy in that building, in that meeting room, around that team was incredible. Like I walked out of there and I said, I'm picking this team to win the Super Bowl because that's how confident they felt, and that's the energy that was there. But they started out, it just feels like from the moment that Joe Burrow hurt his calf that first day, everything's been out of sync, out of whack, and just not working the way that they want. They have so much talent on offense and should be so much better. I don't know what they're going to do right now, but they need to get their quarterback healthy.
Are they going to bench him? Are they going to rest him?
I don't think he's going to rest. I think he continues to play through it. I think unless he has a setback, he's not going to rest. And he hasn't had a setback. The offense just hasn't hummed the way that they had hoped it would.
But defense are attacking them as if he can't move. Yeah. So it's like it's just it feels like he's going to have to prove that he can move. And until then, feels like people are going to feast. You know a lot more about
smacking them too.
Yeah, hands in a face. There's hands in a face. I mean, it is different. I would like to see Joe Burrow with a healthy training camp one time.
Me too.
Cool.
You know what I mean? I would like to see it one time. What's that? We got news? Is that news? You just got news?
No, we got an interesting text. So nothing that I can report right now, but
hey, we're on ESPN. You can break the news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're on ESPN. Well, look, we got even the little logo down there. That's you know what I mean? We're doing the whole thing.
I know, but Pat, sometimes when you get texts of information, you just can't you got to check out to make sure that
Oh, we don't do that.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah, that's not our thing. No, we get a text and we just let it eat. You know what I mean? That's why you are who you are. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, would you please explain this situation to the best of your knowledge to me like I'm an absolute moron? David Bakhtiari, we thought maybe everything was okay. He played week 1 against the Bears. We knew, obviously, that there were some issues with his knee, but now all of a sudden he had another surgery. He's going to potentially need to get his knee scoped again within the next few weeks, and he's probably going to miss this entire season. How the hell did we get here?
Well, obviously he had some sort of setback, and that knee didn't respond because it was feeling good, and it's the point where something went wrong. And obviously the knee has given him so many problems and issues through the years that inevitably these are the kind of issues that can arise, and it did, and it's unfortunate. They miss him. They need him out there. He wasn't out there. You saw the pressure that Jordan Love was on. Something went wrong with that knee. There was some sort of setback within the last 10 or so days. I don't know specifically what that was, but clearly something went wrong to where he had to have the procedure, to where he is out indefinitely, to where there are questions about whether he can ever play again. You want that guy out there. You just don't know. And I think it was on his mind. Like, if he had any more issues, he's played so long at such a high level, made so much money. Is it worth fighting through all this to get back? It takes a toll. And so you have to wonder about the effects of that. But everybody wants the guy back out there as soon as possible.
Yeah, and you were to think that Bakhtiari also feels terrible watching what is happening with the offensive line while he's not in both last year and this year. So you talk about the mental toll. I think that is probably weighing in on him. But boy, I've never seen anything like this where play, then not play, then not play, then play, then not play. And does anybody have answers? Like, does any doctor or trainer or anybody know why or any of this is happening?
Well, again, he had the procedure. So they obviously found something that they felt like they needed to correct, whatever that is. Right?
That's good news.
Get him on the show.
Well, see, that's the thing. We don't like putting people in interesting situations. No. You know what I mean? Because then once we start firing questions,
just inside.
Like you're supposed to be in an interesting situation because you have all the information. So we're supposed to boom, bang, pow. Don't like putting people in a spot where they could potentially get killed. You know what I mean? That's kind of a thing. Now, you insiders, though, that's kind of your life. That's your life. That is your life. Let's turn to tonight. D-Bud has a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, tonight, Jamal Adams is slated to make his debut. Obviously, he's missed a ton of time with some injuries. Have you heard anything about a pitch count for him? And is there any update with Saquon? Is he still doubtful? Any chance he goes tonight?
You know, listen, the interesting thing about the league with the doubtful designation is guys that are given that designation almost never play. So they might as well just rule him out. But I guess they're keeping alive hope for some reason. Saquon's not expected to play tonight. So, again, he's getting closer. He's getting better, but it is still a high ankle sprain. Jamal Adams, he hasn't played in exactly 385 days since tearing that quad in the opening game last year. So I can't imagine as much as well-conditioned as he is that he's coming in and playing a full game. But the fact that he's out there tonight is a huge win, and they're going to use him, and he wants to be out there, and he's going to be out there, and I'm sure he'll make some impact plays. I can't imagine he's going to play a full game right away out of the box, but he'll be out there tonight.
Anything else we missed about tonight's game, Shefty?
Saquon, Jamal Adams, Seahawks offensive line has been a problem with the injuries to Abe Lucas and Charles Cross, and they've not been able to get Geno the time that he needs, which has not allowed them to run the type of offense that they want. Kenneth Walker's been a machine. Giants offense needs to get on track big time.
Hey.
Really struggled in the first half. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Shefty, I love it.
Night.
I appreciate that. Hey, what have we not covered that we should? Offensive line, haven't asked about that. Here's another thing we didn't ask you about over the weekend, which kind of Cleveland Browns, couple stories coming out here now. Do we know what happened with Njoku? And that setup there, obviously very scary. With fire. And whenever they said he was starting a fire at his house, and then he got burnt on his face, how bad are we expecting that to be? Because whenever he wears masks like that, then he wears ski masks with thing. I'm expecting worse. Case, is he okay? How close were we to potentially not having a jump?
The interesting thing was that they put him down as questionable because they weren't sure if he could get his helmet on over his face where there were burns. You saw him walk in there. He burned his face. He burned his arms. Yeah, he's jacked. And again, he was able to get out there, and he was able to get the helmet on, which is amazing. Haven't seen the damage. You hope it's not bad, but credit to him for being out there. Kind of like you, Pat. You got through it, and David was tough enough to put the helmet on and get out there and play the game yesterday.
A little spoiled fruit, that easy come, easy go. Burns are forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. That stuff. I hope he's okay. We all hope he's okay. To let him know the silver lining looked so cool.
Yeah.
Like, so cool.
Badass.
The ski mask with the visor. With how. All right, we hope you're okay, though. And then the quarterback, we are learning now from Mary Kay
Cabot.
Cabot.
A-Chan, wait, you were right last week.
Right.
Okay, you were right last week. Mary Kay Cabot, she's reporting that Kevin Stefanski said that Deshaun Watson was medically cleared to play against the Baltimore Ravens when obviously we saw DTR, who did great in preseason, struggle and the Browns get a loss to the Ravens, and he chose not to play. Is that accurate? And how much do we know about that going into the game? Because,
well,
go ahead.
Here's the situation, and this is to me a part that's always a little bit unsettling about reporting like early injuries, because I've had coaches say to me, a guy's going to play, and then they call me, hey, he just went out, he didn't feel right, he's not playing. Or he is not playing, and then he goes out there. You know what? He woke up that day, felt great. I don't think it happens often, but it does happen. With Deshaun, they were planning for him to start. That was the plan. But part of that plan was we also need to see, considering that he barely threw this week, how he feels in the morning. And he went out in the morning, and he didn't feel good. He didn't feel like he was in a position to play the game. And so they made the decision to go to Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR at that point in time. Like, he wasn't right. He may have been medically clear. He didn't feel right. People, you know your own bodies. And so they took their word. That's what he felt. They took his word for it, and they went on and started the rookie. And that didn't work out great.
Nah, it did not. And DTR, I mean, there was a couple throws there where he did not look anything like what he looked in preseason. And we got to remember that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Kenny Pickett in that offense in preseason, DTR in preseason, Aiden O'Connell ended up coming back and doing his whole thing. How he looked in preseason, we got to remember that judging later. We hope Deshaun's okay. We hope Njoku is okay, even though his new look is sweet. Yeah. And we can't wait to watch you on TV later, Shefty. We appreciate you, buddy.
Men, thank you for having me. Have a great day. We'll see you tonight. The Giants, Seahawks, Monday Night Football.
You got it, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Schefter. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good promo there. Hey, anything we're missing? Well, Seattle Seahawks offensive line. The Giants offense needs to get back on track. It's like, all right, hey, Shefty.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. We got a big one tonight. Jamal Adams coming back. Huge deal.
Big deal. Yeah, he's a great
385 days?
That's a long time.
That quad's going to be.
Traded for a couple first-round picks when he came over from the Jets. But he's not really a safety to me. He's more as a weapon. He's going to be in the box. He's going to be getting after the quarterback. I think that's and obviously a beast in the run game as well. I think that's his wheelhouse on that defense.
Whenever they talk about being in game shape, whenever you're going through rehab, especially for 385 days, that is a grinding, tasking toll. Like every time I did it, much smaller, much different injuries to my knees. My legs will end up being stronger after rehab because I'm every day, 2 times a day, working out. What do you expect from him when it comes to conditioning-wise?
Condition-wise, like Adam said, I definitely expect the pitch count. And regardless of how hard you work, he seems like a hard-working guy, but football is nothing like playing football and being in football shape. So he'll probably be a little gassed like those Commanders were. A little gassed.
We're watching that game.
Ron.
Watching that game. We're like, holy hell, Sam Howell's a guy.
Yeah. The commies.
They got him on. You got the Eagles on the ropes right now.
All the momentum.
2 yards away.
Come on.
Let's get the extra point. All right, I respect it. Get to lie another point, but I think that was a bad decision. We'll be back on the other side with AJ Hawk and Peyton Manning. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 3. There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time.
What?
Okay, can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Moana.
What can I say except you're welcome?
and we talk about mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't have buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is a takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Mwah. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup.
Sorry, Mike.
And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you're some man!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, the following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, why? Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Football! Happened yesterday, it's happening tonight. We are in the greatest time of year. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. And 9-year NFL vet, a man who played every position in the secondary, host of the Man to Man podcast and everything DB and NFL matchups. Darius J. Butler is here. He looks super cool, D-Butt. Super duper cool. Always. And joining us now, live from an attic in Ohio, is a man we haven't heard his thoughts yet because he has been doing the thing that he does, which is being the father of 15 children. Yep. Wow. He's a COVID survivor, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall. Hey. AJ, how you doing, pal? Football's good right now.
Yeah, it's quite a good day and night of football yesterday, huh?
Yeah, and also Saturday as well. Whenever I say that football's doing it right now.
Oh, yeah. Crushing.
You know what I mean? Football is doing it right now. Last year, we had a little bit of a run of primetime football sucking. Right. Okay, and everybody thought maybe football lost its fastball. Yeah. Because college didn't have as many storylines as it. This year, the storylines are in abundance. The Pac-12 might be stronger than the SEC in college ball, let alone what the Big 12 and the Big 10 got cooking. And then you move to the NFL. Wait a minute. The buzzsaw goes into Western New York and gets buzzsawed themselves. The Patriots, the dynasty, is dead. head? What does the next one look like? The Vikings battled against the football gods for an entire half, and then they flip it on the other side and get their first win. There's just storylines in abundance, AJ. I don't know where you want to start, but this is where I would like you to start. Christian McCaffrey. This dude, he was in the MVP conversation, obviously, in years past. When he was at Carolina, the team went from Cam Newton's team to Christian McCaffrey's team. Then in an effort to save money and maybe tank, they decided to trade CMC to the San Francisco 49ers. And literally since day one, he has been the epicenter of that offense. Shanahan, who knew him as a child and has known him his entire life because his dad played for his dad, has utilized him in ways that I don't think many coaches would be able to do or put enough trust in. What do you see from CMC that makes you believe he's one of the best football players walking on this earth? And how do you stop a guy like Christian McCaffrey, AJ?
I mean, it takes a village to stop him. It takes all 11, as they say. But when you have a coach like this that seems to absolutely just get off on finding ways to get guys like this the ball. And I mean, when you look at their roster, though, and when I say get off, I mean he gets excited. I'm not saying anything sexual there, Pat. I know your head might have turned.
It wasn't my head that turned. Everybody said whatever you said. This guy's bopping.
That's what I'm saying, though. You get a football guru nerd who loves to just dream up different offensive formations and plays and situations to get in. And you give him a guy like Christian McCaffrey, but it's also everyone around him, too. Like, look at these wideouts blocking downfield. Look at they just seem to do everything right now.
Yeah, and they love it. They love the fact that Christian McCaffrey's eating. I think you heard George Kittle talk about it last year whenever Christian McCaffrey became he threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown, ran for a touchdown like 2 weeks after joining the Niners. And that Niners team was in the NFC Championship for multiple years. So him just becoming the guy on the offensive side of the ball out of nowhere could ruffle some feathers in the locker room a little bit about, whoa, what about me? Kittle said, he's Christian McCaffrey. Have you seen this guy? It's almost like the respect for him is endless from every football player. And this year he's playing his best ball, D-Bud.
Yeah, I mean, he's been that dude since he came in the league, honestly. And even when he got big payday and still, I believe, the highest paid running back, the only knock that has been on C-Mac is health. But when he's healthy, I think he's been kind of that clear-cut number one guy. You just see it every play, every drive, it seems, that this 49ers offense. Brock always going the right play with the ball, checking that line of scrimmage. And that first play you showed with Trent Williams leading out in front, like, he's running like a damn receiver in front of it. It's crazy, man.
And just another point, though, tight one with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cardinals, I think Lombo said it last. They're going to be a problem. Every single week, the Cardinals are going to be a problem. Played them great, but Brock Purdy proves to very rarely make mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he went 5 for 5 or something like that, and his incompletion came very late. He is a machine.
Him and Ayuk were back on the same page yesterday. Debo, I don't think, had a catch. I remember the whole game, and that's how that team works. Like, last week, Debo went off with a little bit of McCaffrey. The week before that, it was Ayuk. Now it's Ayuk again. Kittle hasn't even really got going, I think, to start the season. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they have people on top of people.
And their defense.
Their defense is absurd.
AJ, that defense, I don't know what James Conner's doing trying to fight one of them. You know what I mean?
Uvonga.
Yeah, what was that about? That seemed like there was something personal going on.
That was pretty real. I mean, that was a face grab. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Uvonga, not putting his helmet back on, but saying, all right, I guess we're fighting now. And then everybody else kind of jumping in there. James Conner seemed pissed.
He called him a JT. I actually, no, I can't do that on ESPN.
Wait, what happened?
I was going to say that I texted James Conner, and he replied and said that Ufanga called him a jive turkey, but we're on a real network now.
Well, Dick Good's going to have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Dick Good's going to have to mute that now. I hope you're happy about it. Now Dick Good hear me say that. He goes, what did he say? What did he say? What are we going to do there? I like seeing that type of fight out of the Cardinals. This Cardinals team has obviously earned all of our respect over the last couple of weeks. They got 5 weeks to activate Kyler.
Yeah. Yep.
And get Kyler into the mix or whatever. They've extended that another month and a week. That situation is going to continue to be, with Joshua Dobbs doing his thing, the way this team's playing, new culture coming in. Like, Kyler seems to be in the middle of all of it, right? Practice, he's there. Sideline, he's there. Upbeat. I think he posted something about he's never missed the game as much as he missed it right now. Yep. So maybe he comes back and is everything they want. Yep. But Dobbs seems like a great leader for that Arizona Cardinals team right now. Is surprising everybody, D-Bud.
Dobbs is a great leader. He's doing his thing. I just think league wide, I don't think he's still viewed as a starter or like a franchise quarterback that you're going to build your franchise around. I think Kyler Murray still is. Talent wise, he's up there in the upper echelon with the guys just by him being healthy and then being away from the game. It kind of gives you a different perspective sometimes. So maybe he comes back different. Got a new head coach, new culture in that building. So I definitely expect him to get back out there. The Cardinals, like you said, they kept it close for a large part of this game, and then Niners ended up covering late, but. They're fighting. They play hard.
So let's talk about another team that has a new face, and you're a big fan of this guy. Always have been. I think just because the way he operates and the fact that he was in Ohio for a bit. Baker Mayfield, don't look now. Hey, don't look now. Okay, Bucks. We both took them last week in our predictions. I think because we respect the hell out of the Bucks defense, which proved to be a weapon. Obviously, the Bucks defense and the way Bowles plays and everything they got going on down there. Sweet. Baker Mayfield has been a reborn quarterback down there in that Bay of Tampa. Honestly, this team is seemingly going to be the NFC South representatives, and Baker Mayfield is about to have a 10-year career as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. All the stuff that happened before Tampa, there's a chance that we're never even going to talk about it because what Baker's potentially going to be able to do down here in Tampa. AJ, you've always been a massive supporter of Baker Mayfield. I think you like his moxie and the cut of his jib. What have you seen out of him that makes you think like, hey, this is a perfect spot for him down there in Tampa?
Yeah, he just needed another chance, I guess, and he needed the right people around him. I guess they're doing whatever they can to like empower Baker and let him be him. And we've heard people. I think Troy Aikman came on the show last week and said Baker's playing the best, like when Baker is being himself and he has that moxie that we're used to, that fire that he always had when he was in college, and obviously at moments in the NFL. But then look at these receivers. I mean, guys are making plays for him. He's finding he's converting third downs. He's taking care of the ball for the most part, and he's doing the right thing, man. Like, I think it's fun to watch somebody that most people wrote off and say, hey, this guy he's not going to be a starter again. And now look what he's doing.
It's very similar to what happened with Geno in Seattle.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Geno, and I think it's the same. I think it's potentially OC from Seattle. I think there's a chance.
Oh, that's in Tampa Bay. I think you're right.
I think I'm not my brain. I apologize, Tampa. I didn't do enough research on you guys before the season started because, to be honest, I don't think we had a lot of hope for you guys.
No.
Which is why this is awesome. Which is why we need to talk about it. But it's like Baker fits in the scheme. Mm-hmm. He has the moxie back. Right, go ahead.
Canales was the Seattle Seahawks passing game coordinator from 2020 to 2022.
Yeah, so he literally last year with Geno, we see this. We're back, better than ever. Everything that was being projected about Geno coming out of college, it took a few years, almost a decade, but here we are. We're figuring it out. It's almost like same things happening with Baker down there in Tampa, which, is it him maturing? Is it the system? Is it the setup? What do you think it is, D-Butt?
I think it's all those things. And he has talent around him, too. Godwin's healthy. He's playing good ball. Mike Evans, he looks like he needs to get that kind of Fitzgerald in Arizona treatment. Just give him a lifetime contract. Let him play in Tampa as long as he wants to. But Baker's been taking care of the ball. That was the knock on him. And converting on third downs, keeping those chains moving. So when you have a good defense like that, once again, when they're on the field, they're coming and playing good ball. And the Saints, they're no slouches on defense either.
Agreed. They got a great team over there. Derek Carr, what's going on with his shoulder? I think we'll see. Taysom Hill ran through 5-6 people.
He was sick.
I saw it, and it was awesome.
First quarter.
With these new offenses, you get somebody. Maybe now's the time Taysom cashes in on that $40 million contract that he signed for. This might be the time for him if Derek's shoulder isn't able to do what it is. But let's go back to Tampa Bay with Baker. Not a lot of the excess noise that we're hearing literally everywhere else with Baker. He's got to be loving his life in that particular aspect, Ty.
Well, these guys obviously are incredibly confident in what they can do, but you have to wonder, too, if there were no external expectations for the Bucs this year. It's just like, yep, they're going to suck. They don't have Brady anymore. This is the Saints division. Who knows? Carolina going into the season, they kind of had a lot of hype. So this is the first time in his career he's outside of, when he played a little bit for Carolina and a little bit for the Rams. It's been the first time he's been able to just freely go out and play and kind of show his skill set. And then here we are, it's not like, oh, this is the first overall pick. This guy's supposed to be the Browns' savior. It's just like, oh, yeah, this also ran Baker Mayfield, who gets put in a pretty good situation and has been showing out.
Yeah, good for Baker. I'm excited for Tampa Bay. Down there in the NFC South might be a new daddy.
Yeah.
Might be a new daddy down there in the NFC South that we thought was just going to run through the bayou, and obviously Tampa does its thing. Let's go to another team that we have some question marks around. Commanders should have won yesterday.
Oh, boy.
AJ.
They had it. I thought they had it.
Sam Howell, who I think we have all had massive respect for.
Yeah.
Now he lives a little dangerously.
I love it.
Yes,
Okay,
he
he's
does.
throwing balls into team meetings because he thinks that he has the strength and the ability to put a ball somewhere. He's a young quarterback, probably going to get through this phase, or maybe never. I mean, there's guys that never get through this phase, but he's got to play ball to kind of learn it. Him marching that team down the field in the fourth quarter whenever they needed it, down a tud. What are you going to do with it? Hey, Sam Howell, what are you going to do with it? Sam Howell, okay, touchdown. Now, Ron Rivera, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Walk off win right now against the Philadelphia Eagles
Come on.
when nobody thought the Commanders were going to be a damn thing? You got new ownership up there. Your nickname is Riverboat Ron.
Yeah.
And he says, I just thought they were gas. Run this clip from Ron Rivera after the game and why he didn't go for two at the very end to steal a dub away from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but you know what? Those guys, they were gassed. Yeah. They really were.
Oh, they were tired as hell.
They're hurrying. They're hustling. I really thought, we had the chance, and it's too bad.
You did.
What about that?
You actually did have the chance. It was 2 yards away. It was sitting right there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your best play? What do you got? Sam Howell's got a cannon still, been able to pick it. You know who else is tired? Just something to think about. That defense just got ran right down the field. That's another one of those inside voices from Ron Rivera that we don't need to hear outside. I think we all assumed they were going to go for two there and try to steal that dub. What are your thoughts, Con Man, on Ron Rivera and where he's at as a head coach? What do you think Commanders fans are thinking about this situation?
Oh, I think Commanders fans are, probably renowned and completely on the same page that Ron Rivera's a dipshit. I don't think.
Whoa, good guy though. We gotta say that. Good guy.
Yeah,
Great guy.
That's Commanders fans. That's not me.
Oh, you left hand up.
Who are we?
The Commanders. Those people.
Yeah. Oh, goody. Shout out. I mean, look, this happens so often with Riverboat Ron, where something happens after the game, and then it's just like, what the hell are you even talking about, buddy? I think the story of the Commanders should be Bieniemy. Like, Bieniemy's doing a great job, and we were coming into it like, yeah, maybe Bieniemy isn't getting any head coaching opportunities because of the fact that it's all Andy Reid. But he comes over from KC. I think that's the second game they've already put up 30 points. Might be the third game, actually. So seeing what he's doing, and then you see Ron Rivera get up there, and also then you see Bieniemy get tossed under the bus by Ron Rivera too earlier in the season already. Like, if I'm the Commanders, or if I'm a Commanders fan, I'm probably saying, look, Ron Rivera's a great guy.
Love him.
But he is Dan Snyder's head coach. And what do we do to Dan Snyder? We ran his ass out of town, and now it's time to run Rivera out of town.
Bieniemy steps right in.
Boom. You give Bieniemy the head coach an opportunity that he's been looking for. If they do go on to do well, you got your head coach and you got your starting quarterback of the future. If it doesn't go well, or if they go 500 again, it's probably time to cut bait anyways with old Riverboat Ron, even though he's had a hell of a career and he was with the Commanders while the place was on fire, and he's been to the playoffs with the Commanders. It's been a good run, but it's over, Ron. I'm sorry. I don't think they want you.
Isn't that crazy to think that they went to overtime with the Eagles, and this is what we're saying? You know what I mean? The Eagles are a great football team. The Eagles are a great football team, and the Commanders have done a lot of great things. And if you think about earlier in the season, one of the times he got thrown under the bus by Ron Rivera, Eric Bieniemy, that is because he was coaching too hard. Do you remember that? That was a conversation, D-Bud, at one point. Feels like it's working for them. Eagles get a win, which they're happy to just kind of slide on by. We get a win. We move on. As a defense, you gassed at the end of that, and what do you think about Ron Rivera?
Well, happy that, because it's a little bit of anxiety when you got that 2-point conversion, especially for the game. They marched it down the field. A lot of weapons, too. Robinson's a dog. A lot of weapons at receiver. I say you definitely go for it. Obviously, that's in hindsight now. But Bieniemy, he's been doing a great job. And this Commanders team, even last year, this was the last team that beat Jalen Hurts in the regular season. So they kind of have their culture. They're a tough team. I think 22 starts. The one loss in the regular season is against Commanders. Now you get Bieniemy where you can actually put up 30, 35 points.
Yeah, Jalen's record's remarkable. We talk about everybody else's record. Like Jalen Hurts, what he is accomplishing. They're winning ugly. Okay, and yesterday was certainly that. They had to come back, and that was their first 1 o'clock game, AJ, which Eagles' first 1 o'clock game of the season. So that first half, as I was watching it unfold, and I'm like, these dudes are still kind of waking
Feels like
up.
a JV game. Feels like a JV game for him, probably.
Yeah, bingo. It's really light out here. Jeez, is it practice?
Jalen played really well yesterday. Like, he threw some incredible balls, especially to A.J. Brown. But, I mean, in overtime, Terry McLaurin doesn't step on what's-his-name arm on the sideline there. They're in field goal range with a chance. Now, I'm not saying they're going to stop. Obviously, the Eagles went down and won, but there's a chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who probably would have just called two-point conversion himself.
Sure.
Yep.
And that is because this man is on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. I was very lucky to be his teammate. And tonight, he and Eli will have their second edition of the Manning Cast. One of the guests, Will Ferrell.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Peyton.
You say, boys, thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I like that you're strapped in on the side of the road. Safety first. Let's talk. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Hero, thank you. Let's talk about tonight. Massive game. Seahawks, Giants, Jamal Adams coming back. What has your research told you that we're in for tonight? Is this going to be explosive, low scoring? What are we thinking at MetLife tonight, Peyton?
I think Jamal Adams is the key, Pat. What does Seattle do with him? Is he going to cover Darren Waller man-to-man? Are they going to blitz him? That's something Eli and I are looking for. Giants have had these slow starts. For some reason, when they kind of go no huddle, they start scoring more points. So maybe they come out with a little no huddle to get a little tempo going, right? Don't wait to get down 14-0 before you start moving the ball. But I'm telling you, Geno is playing well. He's in control. They're running the ball well. They have good play action. The Giants blitz every single play, yet they have 2 sacks and no interceptions. If you're going to blitz, right, AJ, that's kind of the point, either to get some sacks and to get some turnovers. If you're not going to get one of those, I'm not sure why you're blitzing every play. So I think it'll be a close game. I really do.
Okay, go ahead, AJ.
Peyton, you mentioned the Giants' offense kind of being more productive when they have some tempo, and it's a 2-minute type situation. That's like the old cliche question the casual fans watching the game. Guy hasn't moved the ball all 2-3 quarters. They go to 2 minute, and bam, here comes everything. They put some points up. What is it, and is it something that you could actually do the whole game?
Well, look, the Giants do a lot of kind of complex run plays, right, where they have, multiple tight ends in there. And so those are hard plays to kind of get to in no huddle, right? Those are plays you kind of need to huddle up, to call the verbiage, to be sure you got the motion and get the big guys in there. But I think it's a good change of pace. I'm not saying you got to do it exclusively. That's kind of what we did, right? But have it in the package, and like I said, don't wait to get down, right? That's basically why we went exclusively no huddle, AJ. We were playing the Jets one game, and the week before we were down 21-0, and we started going no huddle, and we said, hey, let's just start the game that way. And we started it, and we never turned back. Now, I'm not saying that's the right move for the Giants, but I'm saying when you're not getting off to a fast start, when you're struggling early, it's a good way to get everybody going, get Daniel in some rhythm. So maybe we'll see that tonight.
Hey, whenever you call these Manning casts, you get a chance. It feels like you and Eli, whenever you say some of the things during the show, that you actually get to talk to like offense coordinator, head coach, and everything as a member of the media. What is the conversations like? And are you telling them, like, is Eli obviously remember, hey, maybe we help Daniel? Or how do those conversations go with you guys as opposed to maybe other media folks, you think?
Well, look, it's all on the up and up. I mean, we're certainly not going to, disclose anything. Eli, I think Daniel Jones and Coach Dable probably will tell Eli a few things that maybe they wouldn't tell everybody else, right? I mean, I think he's an employee of the Giants. He has some kind of show. I don't know if anybody watches it or not, Pat, but he's a Giants ambassador, right? I talked to Geno and Shane Waldron, their offensive coordinator. I hope Geno can talk to me a little bit, kind of quarterback to quarterback. I know Shane yesterday, kind of talked a little bit to me as if I was still a current quarterback, which I'm not, but he's speaking the language to me. So it's nice to get that insight and kind of go behind the ropes. But our rule, Pat, is 10 minutes. I said, Shane, if we're still on the phone after 10 minutes, hang up on me, okay? It's the shortest production meeting of all time. Look, these guys are tired. They have to do the media. They have to run their own meetings. The last thing they want to do is waste time talking to me and Eli. Short and sweet, 10 minutes. Get right to the point, get some information, and let's go play on Monday night.
You had to do a lot of those meetings throughout your career, obviously. Yes. Everybody wanted to talk to you. It sounds like you would wish that this would be instituted a long time ago, the 10-minute rule. But what are those meetings? How easy, what are you, because I assume you're trying to give some information so that when you guys do something, they know. That's a massive part of it. But then you can't give anything away. Is there a trust barrier there? How does that normally go from your eyes whenever you're talking to commentators and everything like that?
Yeah, no, there's certainly a trust barrier. Look, obviously the networks that are covering the NFL, I mean, that is the number one, rule, right? What is said in those production meetings has to stay there. I remember telling Phil Simms one time in a production meeting that we were going to move Jeff Saturday to guard so we could block Trevor Price, right? And, I mean, that information went nowhere, right? Because you trust Phil Simms, you trust CBS, right? It's nice for him to know, hey, why is Saturday playing right guard, right? You let them know that. So guys that have been doing it for a long time, you trust them. That's the pride of the networks covering the game. So yeah, sure, you want to be helpful. You don't want to tell them that the first play is going to be a double reverse throwback to the quarterback. They don't have to know that, but you certainly want to be helpful to them because they're trying to do a good job and cover the game and, make you look good as well, I think.
Yeah, none of the coaches want to end up on the wrong side of the...
Yeah.
I'm going to want to...
Get one here. I want to get one here. Might be time to get one. Maybe you want to get one here. You should probably get one.
Nobody wants to be on the side of that. So I assume they're telling you a lot of stuff like, hey, if we do this, please don't murder us.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the reason why. Here's what we're trying to do. That's a beautiful thing.
We're trying to be on the positive, right? We're trying to celebrate the great play from the defensive back as opposed to the poor throw,
of course,
from the quarterback. But the timeouts, that seems to be the one place that just kind of gets me, Pat. It just takes me to a darker place. So I'm working on it. I'm working on being more in control over a lack of timeouts.
Yeah, that's very mature of you. Let's talk about some game management stuff. We were just chatting about this with Riverboat Ron Rivera. I don't know if you saw the end of the game because you got everything going on preparing for tonight. Sam Howell proves he's a guy. I mean, just walks right down the field against an incredible Eagles defense. And then there's no time left on the clock pretty much. You got 2 yards to win this thing and steal a win. And Ron Rivera said he thought his team was gassed or whatever. In that situation, I assume you're doing one of these to the kicking team, right? And saying, yeah, thank you, Ron, and thank you, Joey Sly. We got this from here. But how do you have that convo if you're Sam Howell with not only you're the quarterback CEO of a company, but also probably the right decision how you want your team to be. How do you balance that? And what do you think Ron Rivera was thinking there?
Well, look, I mean, Ron Rivera has proven his track record of being an aggressive guy, right, throughout his whole career. So when he says that, I think you got to believe that he felt the pulse of the team, that they were gassed and, might not be able to execute that play. I mean, to me, that was always something that we tried to kind of have the conversation before we went onto the field, right? Talking to Tony Dungy, he would tell me, hey, let's go down and score, and we're going for 2, right? So you knew that, so you might, save that 2-point play, hopefully, that you didn't use to score the touchdown, right? So the coordinator knew you were all on the same page, right? So, but look, I mean, Ron knows how his team is feeling. It's easy after the fact when Philly scores or kicks the field goal to win it to say they should have gone for 2. Yeah, certainly. I think for Sam, he's probably not quite ready to have that conversation to tell the head coach, hey, coach, take your extra point team and stick it. I'm going for 2, right? Aaron Rodgers, does do that probably. Tom Brady and the guys that have played a long time. So I'm a Sam Howell fan. I like the way he's playing. I think he'll earn that trust eventually. So, but look, Ron's on the sideline, Bieniemy's on the sideline. They know the pulse. That was the right call for them at the time. It didn't work out, but it's hard to second guess, I think, in that situation. Well, actually, it's easy to second guess.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick with Ron on that one.
For us, it's very easy to second guess. Yeah, the easiest job in the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this guy stinks.
Bad call.
Go ahead, AJ.
Peyton, I wanted to pivot. I know tonight in the Manning Cast you have Will Ferrell, and it got me thinking of when you hosted SNL. And I've said for years you're the greatest athlete to ever host SNL, to where the whole thing was legit funny. I still remember you firing balls off those little kids on a United Way fake commercial, whatever it was. What was that whole week like? I know that's supposed to be like a super grinding week, tons of hours every single day. Was that a lot for you?
It's actually a lot like a football game week, AJ. I have to admit, they bring you in on Monday. They're just coming off, their performance on Saturday, right? They're kind of moving a little slow. They've had late Saturday nights. They kind of, ask how far you're willing to go, what you're willing to do. Once they know that, they write Monday and Tuesday, right? They put the game plan in. Wednesday, you sit around a room, you read through these skits, if McAfee, the cameraman in the back, laughs really hard at one, they go, wow, McAfee thought it was funny. That skit's staying in. If you hear crickets and nobody laughs, they throw it out, right? So you're trying these different plays. That one works. That one didn't work. Thursday and Friday is dress rehearsal day, right? That's when you're putting your red zone in, you're putting your third down in. And then Saturday, I will say the one advantage you have, AJ, there's a dress rehearsal from 8:30 to 10:30, right? It's in front of a live audience. God, I wish I could have played some games with a dress rehearsal, before we played the Patriots. Let's do a little rehearsal here to see if we're going to block McGinnis, to see if Ty Law is going to cover our receivers. You don't get that in football. And then 11:30 Eastern time, it is a live show, right? And so, but you see some of the actors whose skits didn't make the cut. They're a little hurt, right? That's that receiver who's not going to get a lot of targets in this game, right? After the game, there's some pouting going on. Yeah, I wasn't as involved as I thought I would be. Lorne Michaels cut that skit out last minute, so I totally could relate. I had a lot of fun. I had like the most incredible cast, just bringing me along the way. In football, I mean, you don't get to have like a 12th guy in the huddle, right? You don't get to have a shadow for the day. But, I mean, I was behind the ropes with Sudeikis, Polar, Bill Hader, Will Forte, right? All-star cast. And so, anyway, that's my takeaway from the week.
Hey, any skits not make it in that you wish did?
I did an Elvis impersonator skit, 70s heavy-set Elvis. Kristen Wiig and Polar are on a double date with Sudeikis and Bill Hader. The guys are like, this is going to suck. The girls are like, no, this guy's really good. All of a sudden, I come out. I go right to the guys. I'm serenading them, and I flip them. I flip them right away. Next thing you know, they're throwing their underwear at me. They're throwing their room keys at me. The girls are like, he sucks. He's terrible. And for some reason, Lorne Michaels said it's not making the cut. And who am I? I'm Sam Howell right there, Pat. Who am I to tell Lorne Michaels this is wrong? This is a great skit. They gave me the copy, though, Pat. I have the copy. I'll show it to you one day. I thought it should have made the final cut.
Oh, you should release that stat. Yeah. I mean, Omaha should be putting that together as the lost scene.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't wait for that. Last question. We know you got to go here from D-Butt.
Yeah, speaking of Will Ferrell, before you get up out of here, favorite Will Ferrell movie? And now that the writer's strike is almost over, any chance we see you on the big screen now, post-football?
God, I hope not, D. I'm on there too much. I'm good at reading lines on a teleprompter in a commercial. By no means do I need to be in a movie. Will Ferrell, I mean, Wedding Crashers kind of just pops out, right? I mean, Eli loves to say, Mom, I need the meatloaf. That'll probably come out tonight. Ron Burgundy. I mean, I was interviewed by Ron Burgundy several years ago as, he was hosting SportsCenter. He interviewed me. I don't know how we got that done. Cooper, my brother, kept telling me, just keep calling him Ron. Just keep saying Ron as many times as you can. Well, it's a good point there, Ron. And it was totally off the script. I just teed him up. So we're honored to have him tonight. We know he's a huge Pete Carroll fan. It should be entertaining. Hopefully the game's good, but Will Ferrell should be fun tonight. So tune in to see what he has to say. He's coming on around the second quarter.
Are you friends with everybody? Are you friends with every human on earth, you think, at this point?
I don't think so. But like I said, I'm not afraid to cold call. I do know Will Ferrell a little bit. I have an email. I don't know if it's his official email, but I'm not afraid to throw it out there. There you go. There's me and Ron right there. So anyway, not afraid to reach out, just like I'm sure you aren't, and try to get some guys to come on and talk some football, right? I mean, football is a great unifier, Pat. People love football from different fields, and that's kind of the fun thing Eli and I get to do is talk people from different backgrounds that the number one thing is they love football.
How many guests tonight? Will and anybody else?
We're shooting for 3. We have 2. Sean O'Hara, Eli's old center, is coming on, right? I mean, I don't know if I'll even be on at that point. The 2 of them have this bromance. So, I'll just kind of sit back. Had a little audible on our 3rd guest. We had a guy committed. Oh, no. Had to call in Omaha. So we're sort of
Apple.
Yeah, Apple. Check. So we're trying to see if we can replace that third guest. If not, we may just go with Farrell and O'Hara, which I know O'Hara's ego is just getting blown up right now to think that it's just Farrell and O'Hara in the same thing.
Well, I think what you need to know, and I don't want to blow you and, well, gee, the phrasing, boys.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
No, we know.
I don't want to.
Keep talking. Phil, fill it in, please. Fill it in.
Well, boys, everybody needs to relax, okay? Anyways, I don't want to, boost you and Eli's ego too much, but I think a lot of us as spectators, we don't mind when there isn't a guest. Like Will crush, O'Hara will crush, but and I shouldn't be telling you this, you're much smarter than I am, but like you just reacting to a play, not even feeling obligated to talk, good. It is great. You guys have struck gold. We can't wait to watch tonight, and we appreciate the hell out of you.
Pat, AJ, D, thanks for having me. All the best.
What are you driving there? What is that? We got a good sunroof here.
Yeah, I got to have some room in the back for the kids, for the equipment, the bags, the footballs, the baseballs, basketballs, volleyballs. So a lot of gear back here.
That's a beautiful car. Hey, I hope you enjoy the hell of that Buick, probably. Ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Manning.
Minivan. He didn't say what it was, but it's a minivan.
Yeah, it's Buick. It's a Buick minivan. He's also 4 minutes past the meeting. We took it too long. That's 100% on us. We're going to get chewed out for that. So Will Farrell, Sean O'Hara.
Yep.
And I wonder who that third was supposed to be.
Yeah, I assume, I was just kind of racking the brain. I assume it might have been, I'm not going to say Joe Burrow, but maybe a quarterback who was very prominent on a good team, and maybe that team didn't win.
Maybe C.J. Stroud. You said fuck it.
But why did it fall through?
Jeez.
C-Butt. Jeez.
Sorry, guys.
Put the thing up. Put the thing up on the marquee.
Change it.
God, tell
Nonsense.
It's always that disgusting seat.
What do you mean? What does the marquee say?
You son of a bitch.
What does the marquee say? Well, it reads exactly how it's supposed to, which is we are now 0 shows since our last effort.
Damn.
Take that down to 0. Boom. Hope you're happy, D-Butt.
Was that fun for you, prick?
That's my last one. Last one of the year. Right hand up. It's on me, guys.
Wasn't even cool either.
No, it was quiet.
It was like a non-confident one.
Yeah.
Dick probably didn't even hear it.
Dick Good hears everything.
Yes, he does.
Come on. Ears like an elf.
Gosh dang it, D.
All right, let's talk about some clips that we have. And we talked about the change earlier with Schefter, and he kind of danced around it, but this is real. Let's listen to Coach Mike Tomlin as he was chatted about or asked about his offensive performance against the Houston Texans, which was very similar to his offensive performance for like the last 2 years of Pittsburgh Steelers football. This is the first time Tomlin has even had a hint of potential change.
Hell yeah, we got to make some changes, man. That was an ugly product we put out there today, and so we're not going to do the same things and hope for a different outcome. What those changes are, man, we'll put together a plan in preparation this week.
All right.
Okay.
What does that mean, AJ? What do you think that means? He's thinking about it? What do you think he's thinking about? Because what Schefter said was, hey, we're 4 weeks into the season. Like, what do you want? A new offense coordinator going to come build a brand new offense inside of the Pittsburgh Steelers facility? Do you want to hire from within? And I said to Shefty, this is something that Tone has been kind of bopping his meat about.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger coming back and being the OC for the Pittsburgh Steelers would be hysterical. Now, we have no sources that have said that's anywhere near possible. But what is the answer whenever you have somebody performing so poorly, seemingly at their job, like Matt Canada, the offense coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, something has to change. You see Tomlin's obviously frustrated, but I would assume players and coaches both take notice of that. If you're a player, you're thinking, all right, change is being made. That means some guys are getting taken out of the starting lineup. Some guys may get more of an opportunity to step in and show that they can play. So coaches can't feel too good about their positions either, especially if you're an offensive coach right now. But, yeah, you can't understand you can't overhaul the whole offense right now after 4 games, but you got to do something. You got to tweak it. You got to figure something out to kind of get some life into it and get them going.
That is not Coach Tomlin at all, Tone. Whenever you heard that get you fired up, pumped up, or how to make you feel?
It does, because I am so sick and tired of watching the movie that I watched yesterday. I mean, all week you could feel it coming because it's just so predictable that they are going to go on the road against a team that they are favored to beat and lay an egg, because it's happened so often recently. And as far as the offense is concerned, it's gotten to a point where I'm worried that, because like Kenny drops back now, and in the rare occasion that he has a clean pocket, he is still staring directly at that defensive line because they are in his face a ton. So when the quarterback's eyes go straight down, that's never good. I believe they are by far the worst team in like the first 15 to 20 plays of the game, so the scripted plays or whatever. So that tells you a little bit about. No, it's a stat. I saw a graph. Okay. We have the same team. We root for the same team, and that's how that is. We have incredible head coaches who've been doing a great thing for a long time with horrible offenses and offensive lines, and then the defense that seems to get just so frustrated sometimes they give up and get boat raced. I am so sick and tired of watching that movie, so I'm excited to see what changes will come.
Okay, I didn't even think about. Okay, sorry about it, Tony. By the way, everything's gonna be okay.
All right.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Just a game, Tony.
Football.
I don't know if he's doing all right.
I don't think so.
The roller coaster of emotions you have, Tony. I mean, I guess it's a great representation of fans of NFL and college football, but yeah, like the range of emotions you have over the Steelers team is amazing.
Dude, he's not the only one. Pittsburgh is a die-hard Steelers town. I mean, that's just how it is. And they've had to watch horrendous football, like so bad. And they got TJ there. TJ is like a once-in-a-generation type player. And Pittsburgh Steelers fans, intelligent football people, they understand what they have with TJ. They understand the opportunity that they have with that. Minka is reckless.
Yeah.
Hey, Minka is reckless.
He's on pace for 130 tackles.
That's what, like, Minka's there. You got TJ there. You got Highsmith going off the other end. And
Hayward.
Cam Hayward, hopefully, he gets out. But, like, the way Tone talks about it is how I think all of Pittsburgh feels. It's like, we've been very supportive of you guys, okay? We watch every game. Yeah. We live and die with every snap. Mm-hmm. And on the offensive side, you're the worst in the whole league for not just 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 season, 2 seasons. You ruined Ben. You ruined Ben at the end of his career. You only let him throw 3-yard passes. It's like Pittsburgh is just fed up with it. So for Tomlin to even kind of address change happening, abnormal. But what you brought up was something I didn't think of. A Tomlin move would be to move like 6 players as opposed to Matt Canada. Like that would be a Tomlin move. It would be like, we're going to change the personnel.
That's usually what it means, though. Changes usually mean players. But with the Steelers, because they've been talking about Matt Canada from the jump, that's why we assume that.
And that question was about Canada.
Yeah.
That question was about the offensive performance that was come his way. And the way he said, changes are happening. It's like, what if Tomlin's like, all right, 6 guys out, putting new 6 guys in, and now Canada's actually giving assistant head coaching. Like, that is how Tomlin normally operates in the face of this type of situation.
I agree that, firing your OC 4 games in or whatever probably wouldn't be good for the season or for the team, but it can't get any worse, right? Like, what are they going to go from last to last on offense? Like,
go ahead.
Defensively, though, they weren't good either.
No, they were not.
And the Texans came in with a banged-up offensive line. Obviously, rookie quarterback. C.J. Stroud is playing amazing, but still a rookie quarterback, banged-up offensive line. But they stayed on schedule all game, a lot of runs, screens, and then threw the ball down the field when he had the opportunities.
Let's stay in the AFC North. Lamar Jackson, hey. You know what I mean? We're doing our thing out there, running, moving. The Browns, without Deshaun Watson, who was medically cleared to play, chose not to play because he did not feel right day of game. He was seemingly invested with every single snap on the sideline. We showcased him. DTR, not ready to be an NFL quarterback. I think we all realized that quickly, even though every team was calling for him to get traded and be a starter somewhere. Last night was a little baptism in the actual NFL, not preseason NFL. What did you see from the Baltimore Ravens? Mark Andrews is back. Yep. Mark Andrews is all the way back. Lamar Jackson seeing holes again. That Browns defense, who has bullied damn near everybody, let Lamar eat yesterday in the building. What did you think of the Ravens? Do you think they're all the way back? We need to put a little bit more respect on their name, A.J. Huck.
I mean, I think we all kind of have a healthy respect for the Ravens and what they can do because of Harbaugh, and they always seem to kind of be in it and be a physical team that, they're going to fight, no question. But the Browns, I know people, at least in Ohio, are saying, man, why would we trade Josh Dobbs when we knew we had this dude here and all of a sudden we could have used him in a moment like this? DTR, he's going to be fine, I think, but obviously it looked a little bit overwhelmed to be in there in that moment. The Ravens defense was playing well.
Not what we expected the Ravens to be able to do against the Browns, which was this.
No.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
The Browns kind of bully ball. Like, that's the way their defense is played. That's the way their D-line is played. And Lamar and the Ravens look like how Lamar and the Ravens have looked whenever they're humming over there, Connor.
Yeah, and I said this, and I saw Ravens fans kind of agree with it, but that looked like the best game Lamar's ever played. Like, they ran the first Mark Andrews touchdown, that throw to the back corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't seen every single one of his damn throws, but this could be the greatest throw that he's ever had. I mean, he's on the run. He's fading away. It's over 3 Browns defenders into a bucket in the back corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Like, Lamar, if he's playing like this the entire year, because last week he had a pretty good day.
Beautiful ball.
Unbelievable ball. Like,
was-
if that keeps happening, they're going to be very, very hard to beat.
It was death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yep.
That yesterday for the Ravens offense. Like, he was 15 of 19. He threw for like 189ers, but they were very efficient. They took advantage of everything they gave him, and Ravens look good.
Beat down.
Yeah, they did. Ravens look really good.
Yeah.
Cincy didn't look good at all.
They look terrible.
What's wrong with Cincy, AJ?
man.
They're done because Joe Burrow's calf, he's not able to move, so they're just getting attacked that way. Jamar Chase said, I'm always in open, okay? This is a fun stat from Hembo. Let me find this thing. This is about explosive plays. This is about explosive plays with the Bengals here. Bengals have 4 explosive plays in 4 games. Okay, explosive is 20 yards or more.
Oh, damn.
That's the fewest in the league for the Cincinnati Bengals that, you know, we remember Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Like, that is why they are hawk and animal, the Road Warriors.
Yep.
Whenever you talk about Aaron and Devontae,
Right.
you say, oh, yeah, but Joey and Jamar are about to do that. 4 in 4 games. Burrow's longest completion yesterday was 17 yards. Okay, 37% of his attempts were at or behind the line of scrimmage. That's an interesting stat from Hembo, a few of them there. So it's like they're scared to do anything. And then Joe's not able to extend plays either, so he's not able to move and get those explosive shots. He's not going to ever sit out because he can play. Is there blood pumping through my body? Do I have a heartbeat? Yes, I'm going to play football, is Joey Burrow. But it's almost like defenses know that, and they're playing him differently. The outcome is certainly not what we expected from this particular level of Joe Burrow in the NFL. What is this conversation in Ohio happening around Cincinnati? And how do we fix this? It's bad over there. They look like crop, AJ. They look like crop.
Well, I don't know, whatever Joe's situation is going on with his ankle or calf situation, like, I hope every week it gets, incrementally better, like just a little bit better every single week to where we're not really worried about it. I don't know, 3-4 weeks from now. I don't know. They just got to find a way to get some wins. But you watch the Bengals play, boom, shotgun snap, boom. Joe's got getting rid of it right away. He kind of has to, I feel like. And they're going to try to, create some pressure up the middle, get him off the spot, make him feel uncomfortable so he can't really step into those things. But also, like, for your defense, when you know your offense is struggling and they're probably going to struggle all day long, it's tough to hold up defensively. It really is.
Yeah, mentally. That's what we're talking about with the Steelers there. And the Steelers defense, after they're watching the Steelers offense, it happened with the Bears a couple years ago. Anytime there's a notoriously great defense and then the offense just stinks, there's going to be a natural potential that humans are going to go, does it matter with what they got going on? And that's when things start to splinter. You know what I mean? That's when things start to go like this. Can't happen, right? The Bengals too good for us to be worrying about them falling apart this year, right? Because that's what it sounds like. We got quotes coming out from wide receivers that aren't happening. We got an injury again at the quarterback position. We got an owner in that quarterback taking a lap on a golf cart, him getting out there. All signs are bad in Cincinnati, and we didn't expect this at all going into the season.
I mean, early you look at it after the quarter point. We all know this, and you say, all right, where are we? Where are we going forward? I think it's too early to hit the panic button. Like you said, it is still Joe Burrow. He is a great player. Obviously not fully healthy. Jamar Chase rarely comes out and talks like this. I think
especially about Joe. Yeah, he loves Joe.
I think they figured it out.
Yeah,
It's a tough division though.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously.
Well, since he died,
I figured it out pretty quick though. You don't have much time to mess around anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, because analytics people, we don't agree with everything they say because they're on everybody's team all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But analytics say if you start this slow, there's a good chance you're going to get out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals missed the playoffs after paying Joe this year.
Yikes.
After paying Joe with everything that just happened. And they're from Ohio, right? Fans from Ohio?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, they do get expectations at a level in football, and then once it gets
there,
there,
there's
like,
a standard. There's a new standard, yeah, no question.
hey, we ain't doing what we have been. It'll get loud over there in Cincy quick. Go ahead, Tone.
The last 2 seasons, they're second last in rushing attempts per game. Wouldn't you think with Joe's injury that you would potentially want to get more rushes in a game? That's just honestly just a question.
So another question, Pirine no longer there. Remember, he was the dog for Cincinnati last year for like a good 7-8 games. Whenever Mixon was hurt, he came in. He's now on the
Broncos.
Yeah,
Denver Broncos or whatever, not there. That might be a missing piece that we haven't really talked about much with the Cincinnati Bengals offense.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, they still got their top dogs there. Chase, Higgins got hurt yesterday, but Higgins, Boyd, like you still have explosive players. Mixon's their top running back, obviously. You still got explosive players. So I said it last week when they found a way to get a win over the Rams. threw the ball, to your point, Tone, threw the ball 49 times, only scored 19 points. So definitely some concern over
Their
this
O-line seems to stink. Flat out. They can't protect, and they're not moving anybody when they're trying to run the ball.
And last year they stunk for the first 6 weeks or 7 weeks, right? And then they figured out, then they got hot. So we assume that they'll still do that with Joey Burrow and the Bengals. We hope they will. Good luck to all of them. Let's stay in the AFC. Chargers yesterday.
Ooh.
Interesting. This is an interesting situation. Now, need to talk about the toughness of Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
This dude's an absolute dog. Throws a pick and then gets into like a fist fight with Max Crosby, who appears to be a menace.
Yes,
appears to be an absolute menace,
Truly.
which we appreciate. And I think everybody else on the other side like, yeah, that's just how he plays football. That's how it's going to be. Pick going right to the quarterback. Herbert, though, ain't no bitch.
No, he stood in.
Boom.
Yeah.
Then he dislocates his finger. I guess something happened with his nail.
Fingernail probably popped out.
They said that thing was bleeding and it was sideways. Put a splinter on it. Put me back out there. Then in the fourth quarter, in your own end, up by a touchdown. Is this deja vu? I feel like we're having deja vu. We're having deja vu. Brandon Staley listens to the backlash from his own team saying, let's just do the brotherly shove or the tush push. Guy's got a broken finger, okay, on one of them. Maybe not the time, but hey, we have it in. They don't pick it up. They do not pick it up. 92% for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Chargers needed it yesterday. 4th and 1, 3:30 in the fourth quarter, up one score on your own 34. Very much in scoring distance, obviously, in a division game. Staley's going to say, I wanted to win this thing, and we appreciate that. Now, this seems to be a common theme here with wanting to do something and then the outcome being different and then the analytics saying something leans one way and then all of a sudden it's leaning the other way with Staley. But that wasn't it. And I didn't want to pile on. Because the Chargers defense last week made a play for him, gets a big-time pick against the Vikings. This week, the defense makes a play for him again. Asante Samuel gets a big-time pick. I guess the route and everything, the concept, not great. Asante Samuel gets it. Oh, there's 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. They got a timeout left still. The game's not over. Why don't you go take that to the house? If you watch a replay, Asante Samuel catches that, and then there's one person kind of waving.
Weird.
Weird. Kind of. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know, because Asante Samuel certainly sees him and changes what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Because that type of out with a jump like that, that's pick six city right there.
Yeah. We saw one yesterday.
Exactly. Vikings against the Vikings, 99 yards. That's pick six city. So I think Asante Samuel Jr. is thinking, I'm dancing. Then he sees, corner of his eye, Coach incredibly pumped with one arm.
Going that way.
Potentially. And he changes his tune completely. So I don't want to pile on Brandon.
Kind of mixed signals here.
So weird.
He should be third base coach.
I think he was just excited.
I think he's just excited.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was definitely excited.
He had to be just excited.
Pause. He looks right at him.
He's going like
Oh, no.
He can take that thing. Crib.
Yeah.
Why is he looking at the coach?
No, because if he
It's the head coach
Nah.
who's standing right. Hey, he's probably.
Crib that thing, man.
But then this hand,
He- yeah.
it goes this way. No.
Yeah.
Way.
He should be different location.
It should
Base coach.
That's on Asante.
No, because he puts his hand up
It should be his
That-
other arm telling him, hey, take it to the house. But he does.
That's what he's trying to give him. He's trying to give him that right there.
I don't know. He's excited. He should be pumped. His defense saves him for another week. He knew that was going to happen. Had faith in there.
His quarterback.
Feels like Asante saw him, though, and went down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Saved him after that.
Yeah, and then they do third down, deep shot. Let's get a first down. Imagine if they missed that. I mean, there is just, this dude is reckless, this Brandon Staley guy. And I don't want to pile on about the Asante Samuel thing after the 4th and 1, but I appreciate that he stuck with it and said, deep shot right now, 3rd and 10. Let's go win this game. Palmer makes a great catch. Herbert puts it on the money. With the amount of pain he was having in his other hand, absolute dog. But Staley continues to have rough fourth quarters in his performances. When does this stop, you think, AJ, or is this just who he is?
Not going to. This is who he is, right? This is, I think we are, why would we expect it to change? Like he won this game. He could say, hey, whatever, you can attack all of my decisions, everything I do, we still won this game. We're just trying to find a way to win games. He got very excited in the moment when Asante Samuel Jr. comes up with that pick. And he was like a third base coach. He wasn't really sure. Do I flag him home or do I hold him up? I don't know.
Which
it happened
should
very
know,
quickly for him.
just real quickly, should know.
Yeah.
House that thing.
Yeah.
We do not have 15 seconds left. This
Is that why he looked down at the field after he kind of like gave him the mix it, and then he looked at the field to see like, oh no, it was one.
Just a timeout and a 2-minute warning. It's 2 timeouts.
You know, coaches get rattled too. They get excited. They get caught up in the moment too sometimes. We shouldn't be looking at the sideline at that point.
Bill Belichick is not over there going,
Stop.
2:30. You know what I mean? Andy Reid is not going,
No.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Asante was just trying to, you're right.
Don't look at the sidelines. Don't. That's the rule. If you get a pick or you're any player, don't ever look at the sideline. Just keep going.
But in the fourth quarter, there is time, just so people know.
Your teammates will help you. Your teammates will come get you down.
Yeah, but there's a whole sideline saying get down. Whenever it's like less than a minute, no timeouts left, and you get, because the only thing that can happen here, fumble, and then they get the ball back. Literally, you just won the game. Get your ass down, just like Patrick Mahomes did. Inside the thing. That's what they tell defense. But at that point, we didn't have a clock to do that. We still got to go a little bit.
One score.
And the only reason why I appreciate that 3rd and 10 one is because the punter was standing on the sideline like, okay, here we go. Haven't had to do much now. Biggest punt of all time. Herbert hits a deep ball. Thank God.
Let's get out of here.
Game over. The Colts have done that before. Staley continues though to Staley, and we just need to know that. Staley be Staley. And if you're a Chargers fan, it's going to be electrifying.
Yeah.
If you're an NFL fan, it's going to be confusing. But the Chargers get another win yesterday. That's all that matters. All right, we appreciate you so much. We'll be back tomorrow with Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Tonight's game's a big one. Watch it. We'll lose our minds to it tomorrow. Goodbye. Nailed it. Right on the screws.
Nice. Let's go.
Bum. Didn't even talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
No. Thank God.
Did they play?
Well,
Not really.
Kind of.
Not really.
we did talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, we did. We talked about them.
Yeah, early.
The conversation is about the Cowboys, unfortunately. It's about how bad the Patriots are. So that's kind of why we didn't talk about it.
I do appreciate the fact that America's team, the team that gets hyped and pubbed the most, blows out a team, boat races a team.
Yeah.
Dismantles a team, demoralizes a team, slaughters a team. And the conversation isn't about America's team, at least for us. The conversation is about, boy, that dynasty is long gone.
Yeah.
Over there in New England.
Long
Week
gone.
4 game. And even Patriots fans are feeling that way, which is how you have felt all morning. This dude's been pouting, AJ.
I would not say that.
This dude's been pouting.
Come on now.
It does feel like it a little bit. He's past pouting. He just has said, all right,
Give up.
season's over, it feels like.
Yeah. So, like, you know, Justin Fields was like, the last few weeks have got me, like, appreciating the little things. You know, like the sun came up this morning. When I went home yesterday, my dog licked me in the face. My dog doesn't know that our team is losing games whenever we're up 28-7 or anything like that. Like, the food I had was good. It wasn't poison like what Pat had down in North Carolina when everybody called him an alcoholic and thought that Duke was the place that gave him a hangover and made him puke. Like, anytime you're doing that, that ship has sailed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That ship. You are at the point now where you're a high school kicker, right? Is that the guy that
he's not just
my
some
football
kicker.
happiness this year revolves around a high school kicker that is committed to Harvard, is what New England Patriot fan Boston Connor has said after yesterday's loss to the Cowboys. That ship has sailed. They are fucking long gone into the sun. What's next for you guys? Honestly, what is next? It's like I said earlier, when the Colts lost to the Rams earlier, I left that stadium like pretty pumped. Like, all right, we got a song. The boys showed fight. Anthony Richardson did the 360 dunk thing. And I like had to look in the mirror at that point though and be like, okay, this is who we are. Yeah. Like, we lost the game, but we fought. You know?
That's right. Young football team.
But we fought. And we're going to get Patriots fan. Now you're just like us, it seems like, the rest of the NFL. But like, this is a whole new experience for you. What are you wishing for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we're just like you guys because you have the hope of a franchise quarterback. Like, I think the biggest thing for all Patriots fans this season was you either find out about Mac Jones being the guy or not in 4 weeks, and we know definitely not the guy. He's not going to help us win anything. Now, expectation-wise, I don't think any Patriots fan went into this season like, yeah, we're going to be competing for, you know, the division and competing for a Super Bowl. That was never the expectation. But you rarely see a 38-3 blowout loss under Bill Belichick. I mean,
it never happened. Right?
Never happened. Yeah, it's the biggest loss in Bill Belichick's
You blame Billy O? But you said Billy O'Brien was going to fix everything, Con, man.
No, I do not blame Billy O. I think Billy O's offense is good. I think it's much better than what we've had the past 2 years. Even with McDaniels, when we went to the playoffs, the offense itself was still better. Now that team was better, but the offense now itself on its own is good. We have no good O linemen. I believe if you talk to someone who actually watches the film. D-Bud can probably attest to this. I don't know if any of our wide receivers have been more open than like 2 yards the entire season, so there's no separation. But as a Patriots fan, yeah, you're done with this season. There's no.
So what? We're winning 6, 7 games, 8 games. We'll probably be pick number 12, 11.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario, and that's what's going to happen. Because the schedule is so tough, though, there's still hope that we only lose 5 games, or we only win 5 games. So I'm still hoping for that. I think
That's a brand new Patriots there, AJ. Did you hear that? He was
That's not real. That can't be real. Like, there's no
Dude.
way. Think of the young kids. Think of the young kids in New England. They don't know about it.
Patriots.
Dude, the young kids in New England, they don't even know who Bill Belichick is. I don't think they really give a shit about
The smile
what
on
the
this
football
kid's
team.
Yeah, listen to Foxy back there. Foxy's having a good time.
Yeah,
Brand new
this is
lines.
awesome. I mean, this has been so much fun this year so far. 6 years, my team has stunk, and now finally, I think I can say it. I got the best team in the office.
Yeah, actually, you're the only team who won on Sunday this weekend, or rather Thursday. So it does. You could definitely make that argument. Yeah,
What
D-Bud
are you
has
welling?
8 teams.
What are you welling?
D-Bud's got a stack of teams.
My team's split 2 and 2.
He can't lose.
2 handfuls of teams.
2 and 2, your team?
2 and 2. Yes, we're even. So yeah, Foxy.
Who? Dolphins?
Dolphins.
And
Lifetime.
Colts lose.
Colts football home.
Okay.
And then Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles.
What?
Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Look, hey, my post football career, I'm a fan
You
of
don't
the
make the
players.
rules.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah, you don't make the rules.
Whoever Herbert plays for the next 15 years, I'll be a fan of that team. Same with Jalen Hurts. Love those guys.
It's like a basketball mentality.
Absolutely.
Like I was a Heat fan there for a little bit when Braun brought one down there.
Then the Suns.
Then the Suns. I love the Suns.
Love
because
the
Kevin Durant's
Suns.
out there. They're
Yeah.
very nice to me. I appreciate that. But you said you just like him as a player?
Oh, love those players, yeah.
Yeah, but what about every other team has a player that we love?
Yeah,
somewhere?
but it's just certain guys who,
Oh, okay.
like, if I say, like, if I'm gonna be a head coach or owner or whatever, and
Okay.
I'll build a team. Like, I want to build my organization around Jalen Hurts, around Justin Herbert. Like, those are the guys.
So now those are your teams.
Those
Now
are my
you
guys.
get to ride.
Oh yeah,
You're the worst, dude.
Well, so for me,
whatever.
I love Patrick Mahomes.
I was going to say, Kelsey, I want
So do
that
I.
guy. So I'll claim
I wanna
the
be-
team.
No,
we won this weekend.
You're owner. You're owner. of the
Josh
team. You
Allen's
can't
mine,
do it.
okay?
Yeah, I like
I want to
Josh
build mine
Allen
around
too.
Josh Allen.
Oh, you guys are in the wrong.
Man, I won 3-1 all of a sudden.
Please.
Not bad.
Yeah. What you do? 1-0, Foxy? Child, please. I won 3-1 this weekend. I love Patrick Mahomes.
I'm going the opposite way. Give me the Cardinals. I want to root for Gannon for the rest of
See,
my
this
life.
guy's in a bad spot.
Of course.
This guy's in a bad
How could you not
spot.
be?
I
mean,
wish
I'm-
I had something cool like that high school kicker, though.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah,
to have at least that.
It is pretty sweet.
Pittsburgh, we got dogs all over the place. I mean, we can do a little investigating. I assume there's some dog in Pittsburgh somewhere
Not number
that's
one.
doing something that we love.
Not number one. You don't got the
There was
number
a Woody
one
High
boy.
shout out on Sunday Night Football last
Yeah,
night.
the Woody High, whatever the University, Woody
Probably
High
Whitehead.
School.
Well, no, Whitehead didn't go. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I heard it. I wasn't watching, but I heard it.
Yeah.
I was in the kitchen. I was like, wait a minute.
What's that?
Did the esports team get a win this week?
Relax.
No, they
Let's get to a
suck.
break.
Yeah, how they
please.
doing? They climb out of the basement.
Good question.
2 and 12.
We don't even
now.
know if they're putting a team out there, to be honest. We bought the computers.
They got
It's
2
going to take some
teams.
time. The fuck?
That would be awesome if you guys.
Supplementing the whole esports team, and then we.
Their computers are too nice. Their computers are probably too fast. Everyone has to downgrade.
Yeah, I was about to say they probably have to, just like what we had to probably downgrade all of this stuff. So wait till next year. You know when the tech catches up.
Sounds like those kids are cutting class, going in there and fucking playing Minesweeper. They're not even on.
That's not
the
what
games
Plum Kids
they
would
need.
do. Plum
Well.
Kids are working right now.
Sounds like the Plum Kids, maybe not mine sweeping, but baloney sweeping, maybe. They might
That is
all
also a
be
possibility.
jerking.
They are,
jerking.
that definitely
Let's
happened.
get to a break, please. Hey, Plum Esports, let's go. Let's pick it up.
Go get
You
it.
guys can't be last and second to last.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't have it. Need at least one other school.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like the Bears have the first and the second pick next year.
Exactly.
Can't have it.
Hell yeah.
That's what the Plum Esports team's staring down. We're a second half team, anyways. You guys, not just a first half team. If you could play in the second half, it'd be a whole different
Awesome
story.
first half, though. Let's talk about that.
Bro, Sean Payton
was
thinking at one point yesterday, we're losing to the fucking Bears.
He had to cut his sleeves off.
Yeah.
Fuck these
Get
sleeves.
these
Sweating.
fucking things off here.
Sweating
now.
so bad. I need a little air. I need
Nervous.
a breather. We can't lose to the Bears. We can't lose.
Too mad.
How about the Bears with Chase Claypool?
Yeah.
I will say
Shocker.
this.
Holy hell.
I will say this.
Good trade.
Stinks.
Okay, that was Darius Butler. It was not me. I've not watched the film enough, although I've seen a lot of games where he hasn't done anything. Yeah. So I would assume that's the case. I think them, and I want to watch how I word this because I don't want them benching Chase Claypool after Chase Claypool talks shit about the team I think that's like one of the best moves the Bears have done in a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Sure.
their first
stay home.
That's like the first move that like I watch and I go like, okay, that's like at least caring about the right shit. You know what I mean? Like I think that's maybe setting a tone too for like everybody. We don't need this right now. Okay, we got enough enemies outside. We don't need enemies from within. So I appreciated that move. Then they get on a big run. I'm like, look at the Bears.
Yeah.
Football gods are like,
Great.
yes,
Back.
you're doing the right stuff. And then they're like, you traded for this guy, okay?
Yeah.
And now you're going to bench him just because he said the truth? Like, that's almost what the football gods said. So I'm kind of torn about how everything's happening up there in Chicago.
My sources are actually telling me first half Chase was not in the building. He came in the building second half. Actually, end of third, beginning of the fourth.
That baby voice?
Oh, my God. Is that real or is that fake?
That's what my sources are
Did
saying.
he watch
right
from
now.
the locker room or what? What did he do?
I don't know. He's a cancer, though. We got to get him out of there.
All right. That's what people are saying.
No
That
chance.
is- we don't know if that's true. Okay. We don't know how he operates behind the scenes. But that is what everybody is saying. And I think whenever Eberflus and the team finally were like, go home.
But for trade value, though, very good receiver. He catch any balls. Like, he's very good on a team.
Yeah. Our team needs a wide receiver here in Indianapolis bad.
Oh, we'll trade you.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Bingo.
He's Canadian. May go play in the CFL.
Hey.
Fit in
Abbotsford's
Saskatoon.
finest.
Play with Kaepernick.
I was about to say, I saw Kaepernick something with CFL, right?
Yeah, BC Lions, they just clinched playoff spot. Good team
Is
this
that near
year.
Saskatoon?
BC's where I'm from, Tony.
That's
is near
Morency's
Saskatoon.
favorite
Yeah.
team.
Is
Is he going to play?
Yeah,
Is
that
he
is
gonna play there or
Morency's
what?
squad. That's where Morency is.
You should have heard Morency last week about the BC Lions.
What was that?
Fucking losing his mind.
Not happy?
No, he was just jacked up for him. He knew they were going to clinch. Let's fucking go, BC Lions.
So CFL's happening right now.
Sure.
Playoffs getting started, yeah.
Yeah. Grey Cup right around the corner.
Oh, I can't wait for the Great Cup.
Stefanski playing?
Yeah, is he back up there?
Yeah,
Struggle?
lead the Rough Riders.
Is he really?
I don't know.
Chad Kelly's up there, right?
Yeah.
I think he's like MVP.
Chad
of the league.
Kelly is balling for the Toronto Argonauts.
Oh, the
And they're on a
Argos.
collision course with the Lions?
Yeah, they're on different conferences, I believe.
What about Saskatoon?
West Coast, East Coast.
Well, Saskatchewan.
Rough Riders.
Jeremiah Masoli's still
But
leading.
they play in Saskatoon. I know it's Saskatchewan, but
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have a fucking formidable team.
All right,
They've-
let's get to a break. I'm sick of it.
back-to-back
I
Grey
understand.
Cups.
Montreal, hey, they got a
truly.
team.
The Alouettes.
The
habitants.
So this is the time of the show where we just start saying every piece of information we have about Canada. Trudeau's guy up there.
Trudeau,
Trudeau's
yeah.
up there.
Trudeau was doing so much coke a couple weeks ago.
Allegedly. Well, I'll tell you what. I will say this. Because of what happened with Washington State, hey, Washington State, you attack Kirk Herbstreit and Lee Corso after everything they've done for you. I don't know what happened in the past with ESPN shows. That ain't going to fly. Okay, after what I've heard about everything, that flag, okay, the amount of love that College Game Day has shown Washington State over decades at this point.
Long time.
And I've been told, my sources have told me, that, some of those weeks, there's no Washington State representatives.
Whoa.
So you know who keeps the trend alive? ESPN and College Game Day are like, you know what? For the good of Washington State, let's go ahead and do this because this is a good thing. It's like, I went to West Virginia. I wish there was a WVU flag flying in the most prominent show in college football every single week and given a full spotlight to it. And then Lee Corso cracks a joke that's real, by the way. He's not making a decision, but it's real. And then you start attacking Lee and then attacking Herbstreit. It's like, these people have done a lot for you, I think, Washington State. And I don't appreciate that was right. Now, I am just talking shit in the middle of that, but also like bullshit that you attacked Kirk Herbstreit the way you guys did. As Kirk Herbstreit, I think, takes a lot of pride in what Game Day has been there for 28 years, has a lot of say in that whole thing, and probably was a part of, yes, need to keep the Washington State flag in there. So for one time, they don't go, oh, Washington State. You guys start just getting petty and attacking, like, fuck off, okay? Like, that ain't how this goes around here, like, with me. Now, they hate that. I got called a cokehead and an alcoholic and all these other things. And I'm getting
cokehead.
Because my energy and I enjoy stuff. So that's just kind of a standard. That's just kind of a standard operating procedure. But then obviously because of my alcohol problem is why I puked on Duke. And I understand I got a public intoxication like 13 years ago and all that type of stuff. But you look like a bunch of ingrates. You know what I mean? With everything that Game Day has done for your program when you guys stunk.
Yeah.
And one thing is said and then you start attacking. I don't like that. I didn't appreciate that, but I'm a bully. I'm getting called now. I'm getting called bully.
Of course.
And they're going to protest College Game Day. They're not going to boycott College Game Day. It's like,
What's that mean?
good riddance. I'll put a WVU flag up there. We start a whole new record. Now, I am the only one on College Game Day that feels that way. It has been chatted about, about the respect and how cool they think it is that flag is flown at every single one and everything like that. And I'm going to let you know, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't. Put a West Virginia flag up there. Let's start a new one.
Brand new.
Or any of these other flags. Put them up there.
Yeah.
A lot of us didn't even know you guys had it at school until College Game Day. Did a whole thing with that. And then one time, Lee Corso makes a joke. And then you misquote him and then attack him and then attack Herbie. Can't have it. So, wazoo. Sorry about it. Let's get to a break. Hour 3 will be on the other side. We got overreactions from around the Twitter world, and I cannot wait to see what's cooking on the internet. Ty went through them this morning. We have some good ones.
Yeah, pretty good ones today.
A lot to overreact to.
Absolutely.
Firings, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Sell the teams, I assume. We're going to win the Super Bowl, I assume.
Yep.
I can't wait for that. And coverage of all the games we haven't chatted about. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Overreaction Monday, October 2nd, 2023. It's already October.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5. We have some massive news.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wish for. No, not the one for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion no one's touching it. Just finished and made a voyage. I've been on the main burn, said I'm trying to kill them off, whatever it takes. I seen the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals. I could give a fuck who try and get along. 6'3", you can't look me in the eyes.
Thank you, man.
Welcome the incomparable Pat McAfee.
But as soon as we get backstage, I see Serena Williams like 6 feet from me. I'm like, oh my God. Hello. You look fantastic. Massive room. Did not expect to see this many incredibly important humans to the media world. And then all of a sudden, guess who pops by? Ryan Seacrest.
Bro, Ryan Seacrest, how are you? Congratulations.
Legend, bro. And holy shit, Ryan Seacrest is here.
Honestly, your work ethic is something that people really inspire you.
Why am I here? Great question. Sweet cowboy hat. How you doing, dude? Makes me look thinner. The Kardashians?
Bullshit.
Come out of the elevator?
Hey, good luck out there.
Thank you. My show, my guys and I will be joining the ESPN universe. And we are so incredibly pumped, honored, and thankful to be doing that. And a lot of people are wondering, why would you ever want to do that when you run a couple $100 million valued company with full independence and the ability to kind of do whatever I want, whenever I want, with my crew that is one of the hardest working group of men on this earth. And it's because I had the incredible opportunity over the last 2 months to chit chat with the leadership at ESPN. I go up to a lounge, Alex Honnold, the guy that was climbing?
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck, that's that guy who just hangs off the side of cliffs or whatever. And I think the future of sports media is certainly something that we're kind of creeping in on. Digital has become an influence. It has the structure. It has the ability to reach millions and millions of people. Dan Orlovsky, after his riveting performance on the stage, which it was,
Gets a Shirley Temple.
he got wine.
Okay.
Wow.
The future obviously says that linear television's gonna be dead. ESPN, the channel, won't be able to exist, but when is that? Is that a year from now? 10 years from now? 20 years from now? Can we get to 25, maybe 30, 35, 40? By that time, I'm 65, 70 years old, and I've completely missed out on the powerhouse that is ESPN Linear. So when I was talking to Jimmy and Bert Magnus and the Bob father, Bob Iger, somehow got a chance to be in his office for an hour and a half in Burbank. That was bananas. He's now talking, I think, to the leader of France. Dumbest life of all time continues. But they all very much understood that we need to embrace both what tomorrow is and what today is. And I have the exact same vision. Then Joe Buck, Troy Aikman come walking in. I'm very thankful to announce that we'll be on ESPN, ESPN Plus, the ESPN app, and for the first time, I do believe in all of sports media, will be live on ESPN's YouTube at the exact same time. Jimmy, Burke, Bob understood that 98% of male Gen Zers use YouTube on a daily basis. So being live there and on ESPN, we should be able to reach the entire world. Hopefully, if I don't fuck it up, which I might have just did by saying the F word in this room right here.
You met the real DeMar Hamlin, not Michael B. Jordan.
Are you sure?
Not the actor, not the clone.
How's the upfronts? He is in Disney movies.
Because clones look exactly the same as real people.
That's the actual clone type. It is an incredibly special time for me. This is my first time out of my house in 2 weeks. My wife and I actually, boom, first baby. She just started farting 2 days ago. Real deal. That was a game changer. But my wife, my baby, my guys, and everybody that I know are honored to be a part of the ESPN family, and we hope that we'll be able to work with all of you. Cheers, and have an incredible day.
Good, man. How you doing? You good? Keep running the world, though.
Hey, no, that's you, dude. That's you. That's you.
Trip to New York, I think, was a success. The upfront was hilarious. I had no idea that room was going to be that big.
This is awesome, isn't it?
That was the most suits I've ever seen in my entire life. We're pumped to join the family, and I am very grateful that they're going to let us do it our way. And I said fuck it at Disney upfront. So.
This could be a pretty legendary thing later in life. You'll probably look at it and say, wow, that was a pretty good decision. All right, the next chapter begins. Ain't that right, Mickey?
Hell yeah.
What are you going to do to change and make Tua better? Have you gotten into that? This is very early in the whole process, and you're shaking hands, kissing babies right now, and you're a 0-win head coach that everybody loves.
0 wins.
0 win, but what are you thinking about that for Tua? How do you make him better?
We're going to start with scoring more points than the opponent.
Wow!
Holy shit. Oh, no.
You are changing the game.
Changing the game.
Yeah.
Through math.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I think there's... I was just so fortunate in my career to be around the process of how I look at things with the empowerment of the right teachers that I look backwards, forwards, okay? What things do I see that are really awesome about his game on tape, even though we're at...
He's accurate as heck.
Boom! That's what I was just about to say.
Oh, I didn't know. I was just, you were leading me. That's how, you should do this, maybe.
Dude,
think about it in the future.
Dude.
But he's so accurate.
Or we should just spend the time finishing each other's...
sentences.
Oh, okay.
Hey, have we known each other for...
our whole lives?
Oh my God. You tell.
Me?
Wow.
This is weird.
Dude.
Whoa,
Seems like you guys just became.
Dude.
Wow, this is fucking weird, AJ.
Bro.
Hey, this is...
Did we swap skins?
Wow, we learned a lot about yours, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's go! This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Hour 3 of this program starts now. Football is happening. That's AJ Hawk. That a baby. What do you go, AJ?
Go, Hawk.
The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. And 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler joins us live from the Thunderdome. All the boys in the back obviously doing their thing. Tone, I'm going to turn to you here to start this third hour. There's some trends that we need to look at. You know, we've been kind of judging dogs, favorites, who's winning, who's not winning. What happened this past NFL Sunday in your world, and what do we need to look at tonight?
So the favorites actually had their second winning week. So now on the season, it's hilarious. The favorites are 30, and 3 against the spread.
Damn.
So pretty much right down the middle as far as that's concerned.
9-5-1 though this past weekend.
Yes, 9-5-1. What was it? 12-3 straight up. The favorites were so far, just winning the ball game. So tonight, Seattle obviously goes into New York. They're the favorites in this one. So if they continue the trend, and I think a lot of the money here tonight is on the Seahawks early, just because Giants kind of struggle.
Seahawks favored by 1.5 on the road across the country. I mean, this is a long way. Over under at 47.5. Excited to see what wrinkles the Giants do, especially after talking to Peyton there. He's saying, hey, why don't we run a little hurry up to get Danny Dimes into his groove? How do you see this one going, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants offensively definitely will want to get something going. They're going to want to, I guess people probably still remember what happened to them first week of the season, don't they? Prime time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and also
Getting
first
blasted.
week of the season, Jets on Sunday night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Giants on Monday night.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, so I mean,
What do we got?
No.
Are
What does that mean?
No way New York goes 0 for 4 in back-to-back primetime games here in the first 4 weeks, right? Or is this Seattle Seahawks team built to go on the road and travel and win on a Monday night, D-Bud?
I think so. That offense just a mixed bag. Guys show up. Kenneth Walker is a monster. You got weapons outside with the receivers. The tight ends are good, and we know Geno's good. So questions on that O-line, as you heard Shefty say earlier.
This game is played at 8:15 tonight. Congratulations to the boys playing at 8:15.
One game, too.
Only one.
Yeah, one game is great news for all of us as football fans. Yesterday morning, there was a game, 9:30 local. Right. And it wasn't just on ESPN Plus with Dan Orlovsky, Chris Fowler, and Louis Riddick on the call.
Yeah.
It was also Toy Story mode.
That's right.
AJ, did you get a chance to take a glimpse at either of these? I tried to watch both. The Toy Story one, I tried to watch at the beginning. Novel concept. I like the way that dog is backing it up and moving and doing the whole
he was
thing.
awesome, yeah.
So
I like
cool.
Andy's Room. Toy Story, obviously, legendary program, legendary movie. They had incredible accuracy on some of the plays whenever it was up and running. Now, early, they stumbled out of the gates. We wondered how they were going to be able to handle all of this. The amount of tech that goes into all of this stuff is absurd. I feel like the production crew battled through a little bit. The clips post-time looked great, but I will say I only watched about 2-3 minutes of this. Now, I did see a lot of people with kids were watching it all the way in its entirety. What are your thoughts on the Toy Story run, AJ? And what are your thoughts on the game as the Jogs get another win in London, and they're still over there because they got another one this week?
Yeah, well, I was pulling for Artie Smith a lot, in part in how we got to speak with him on Friday and see his brother, the CEO, Big Dick Smith of FedEx. We wanted them to win, obviously,
Certainly.
because of our relationship with them, I guess. We give the Jags credit and what they could do. But as far as the Toy Story situation, what network was that on live? I only watched clips.
You son
on
of a
Disney
bitch.
Plus.
We talked about
It
it.
was on
There we
ESPN
go.
Plus too.
Yeah, it was on ESPN
No, I
Plus.
watched the game on ESPN Plus.
It was right next to it on ESPN Plus.
You saw it.
I didn't see it.
Scumbag.
It was right next to ESPN Plus.
I didn't see it right next to it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was. It was game, and then
Sunday fun.
All right.
It's cool they could do it. I think it's cool they could do it, and it's cool they'll get younger kids. I would assume we're interested.
Need it for sure.
Well, the thing about it is, we learned that this game was on ESPN Plus on Friday.
Yes.
Right, didn't we? That's
Yes,
what
we
that's
did.
when we
I
learned
learned
it.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
We had no idea. You learned on Sunday,
Sunday
okay?
morning.
Well, thanks for following the program. I mean, you got to be doing an NFL matchup, but we literally had a 25-minute conversation on Friday about how we should have known
Yes.
that it was not on ESPN.
on
It was actually only on ESPN Plus. But then you go into ESPN Plus, and this is just like Prime. Like, hey, just get me to the game, and then let me make decisions afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm about tired of having to do 4 things and then but it was right next to it. It was the Toy Story one was literally right next to it
I
on
would
ESPN.
have checked it out.
Tells me you didn't even watch.
It
Did
was
you enjoy
sweet.
it? Did you enjoy the Toy Story part? I didn't understand when we were talking about it Friday. I wasn't sure. Like, that was the live motion capture situation where it's going right to the animation, which have they ever done anything like that before?
No, and it feels like that was a lot of commitment from ESPN and from Disney to make this happen. And the clips are certainly going to carry the day, and hopefully they'll be able to do this again in the future because there's people that loved it. Introducing Boston Connor. Absolutely loved watching this thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're a Toy Story fan, but why'd you enjoy it?
I just thought it was cool just because of how accurate it was. Now, you mentioned
You're a
at the beginning-
sellout, though. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, no, I'm not.
ESPN's telling you to say this.
First of all, if someone told me to say it, I probably wouldn't say it.
Whoa.
Or if they told me, I would probably screw up how they wanted me to actually say it. But I thought it was cool strictly because of how accurate it was. Like, early on, there were some troubles. Like, I think they ran 2 plays, and then after that second play of the first drive, They basically didn't show another play because something was screwed up, and we knew it was going to be impossible, with the technology.
We thought it was quite a big ask to pull it off. We thought it was going to be a tall test, but they did figure it out.
No, they did, and there were multiple plays. Obviously, the Bijan run, everyone kind of saw that. That one, cool. That one went where he juked that guy out of his shoes, and the animation of it was perfect. But then there was another one. Once they really got into their groove of the game, Trevor Lawrence had like a 15-yard, scramble, first down, whatever, and the animation of it in Andy's room was
skip out of bounds.
Yeah, bingo. It was identical. Like the animation of him stepping up in the pocket, spinning out, running, dodging one guy, getting out. Like that's exactly how they showed it in the Pixar thing. So if they can figure out the technology of it, I think this is the play actually. Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought that was cool. And also, I'm a sucker for Toy Story. Sue me. I like Buzz. I like Woody.
Crane, which was sweet.
Yeah, the crane was sweet. The little GIs coming in and with the first down.
That was cool.
The little eggs trying to explain football. I think they made it much more confusing.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, Dan taught us how to throw a ball, which was cool.
neat.
He checked on the dinosaur, though, after he hit it.
Yeah, right.
So that was very nice of Dan.
I thought they should have done like what Jacksonville does.
Dan Orlovsky.
I know how in the pool in Jacksonville.
AJ.
He was calling the game.
Yeah, okay. So they didn't have a separate
pants
Disney Plus commentating group?
Yeah, Boog and Daniel.
I saw that picture.
Dan wasn't calling the game.
Yeah, they look
It was Boog and
Chris.
Hey, what happens? Okay, if let's say there's a bench clearing brawl when all these guys are wearing this, are they they're gonna show that fight animated?
So imagine, let's take it one step further. Somebody gets real pissed and tosses somebody in the fight. One of those little animated characters flying through the sky.
Uh-huh.
All right, we need these guys to explore space a little bit more the next time this happens. We need jump over shoulders whenever it's like celebration. We need them in the sky. That's
we need Bildos. We need Bildos thrown on the field next animation game.
Yeah, but the Bildos wouldn't have the chips in there.
It is for the kids.
Doesn't matter. I'd love to see the animation where you see Gabe Davis suctioning one to his forehead and chasing a referee around.
Gabe Davis scored another touchdown, by the way.
Yep.
Shout out to Gabe Davis.
First one.
The game kind of stunk, though, to be honest with you. 9:30 in the morning while we're getting ready for the other games. I was obviously a little bit tired because everything that happened on Saturday, so I don't want to be the voice. Game kind of stunk. You know what I mean? Like the Jags did their thing. Congrats to the Jags.
Yeah.
But the Atlanta Falcons did. I think they got some.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
They got a
They do.
specific issue.
Heineke still there?
Heineke is still there, and he looked ready.
So we asked Coach Artie Smith about Desmond Ridder, and he said Desmond Ridder plays well in critical situations. Getting to those critical situations involves playing well throughout the entire game. At what point do you think they're going to turn elsewhere? And what have you seen for Desmond Ridder that makes you think he could either become a guy or maybe not be a guy?
I have big question marks with him coming into the year, but he is young. What is this, 4 games into his career?
Year.
Bingo, yep.
You know what I mean? Second year, but first year is really being the guy. So you still got to give him some time to figure it out. He has obviously the talent. He was drafted second round. He has talent around it, but at some point, you're going to look around, and you saw what happened on the sideline with Mac Hollins. He missed him, so it's going to be frustrating. He missed Mac Hollins on the deep ball. He kind of tried to go to him and give him, hey, sorry, bub. And Mac Hollins jumped up out of his seat like,
get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
So it's going to be some frustration in there, but game.
I did, to your point, AJ, I was hoping after the pub call on Friday that they get a big-time win. Because you go to the pub, Dick Smith's doing his thing in the background, you lose. A lot of people are going to say, we'd rather win games than do any of these pub stuff.
Yeah, what the hell?
So we were pulling for the Falcons there, but the Jags are the real deal, I think.
They are.
And let's not look past the fact, and I don't know if they animated it or not on Toy Story, Jackson DeVille.
Oh, it was.
Bungee jumped off the top of Wembley. Did you see this?
No, I didn't know he's doing that internationally.
What? Yes. Yeah, this dude jumped off the top of Wembley. That's him. Jackson DeVille in the sky. And then he says, let me bring the game ball down. Boom. Jumps off the top of that thing.
And I was supposed to be impressed with Chris Angel? Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Chris Angel did that in straight jacket. So.
And he broke a record.
So
how does this guy's head stay on, but the Oregon guy hits a clock twice and his whole head falls off?
Jacksonville is hanging upside down from about 10,000 feet on a regular basis, so I'd assume his costume was built that way. I didn't think they knew Puddles was going to get a little excited with a hammer.
No.
I don't know if they had that thing ready to go.
Is that his name, Puddles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was asked, remember, how many push-ups will Puddles do today? And I said 42. Turns out does push-ups every score.
Right.
So I didn't have the
I mean, it's a trick question.
There is an equation for that, though, where I could quickly figure that out. I wasn't going to be the one to figure it out.
Nope.
You were pretty spot on, though. I think they scored, 45? 46?
They
Guy
did
knows
score.
ball.
They scored.
Look at his Superdog standings. I'm having a time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having quite a run right now.
Yeah, they're going to have to restart that.
Have you seen this, AJ?
It's like over.
No, let me see.
It is over.
If they don't restart it, then it's just
yeah.
a blowout.
I think
because you came out of the gates hot. You killed him from day one.
All right.
I'm at 68 right now, I think.
What's the closest next to you?
0. I think 21.
No.
So they just need to all take long shots every time to try to catch up, right?
Yeah, I think so. And some of them need to hit a couple long shots in a row, which
jeez.
You know what? I feel really good about that. Because last year I got no points in this thing. And then this year came out guns a-blazing. Know more about college football this year than I did last year, obviously. That's going to happen whenever you're covering it on the biggest college football show that there is. But this college football season has been a lot of fun to cover. It is, AJ, it has been a lot of fun to cover this year.
I mean, how about the Colorado USC game? People thought that thing was over. Colorado comes back and almost wins it. It was awesome.
Great showing out of Shador, by the way, doing his thing, continuing to add to it. I forget how many touchdowns, but then Caleb had 6 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah, 6.
He is absurd. Their defense is going to be the problem again. That's going to be the whole conversation. Oregon is, we saw what they did to Colorado, but defensive front, they out of the Pac-12, and maybe Wazoo goes on a run. And by the way, I love the team. I'm completely okay with the coach using Lee Corso's quote as a rally for the team. Just like I'm completely okay with Ryan Day using a Lou Holtz quote, even though Lou Holtz is getting interviewed by a Lou Holtz impersonator. I just think the Wazoo fans, I think they a little bit, I don't think they're as grateful as they should be for the spotlight that they've been given by people at game day for a long time. Even when the flag's not there or Washington State representative's not there, college game day would like to give a spotlight.
What exactly did Lou say? What did Lou say exactly?
Lee Corso.
Not Lou, Lee. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, they're not all the same.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, you're just.
What do you mean?
You hate old people.
Old whites.
False. I love both these guys that made the comments. I do.
Yeah. You just can't tell them apart.
Yeah, right.
There's that old coach.
That old sack of shit.
That's disgusting. He basically called the Oregon State, Washington State game nobody wants us. It's Coach Corso, first of all. Okay, so he's cutting a joke. And it's the Nobody Wants Us Bowl because they're the Pac-2 right now. Everybody else has been plucked except for them. Now, I would like to say, because Washington State fans are now saying that I'm actively working against them finding,
Come on.
Hey, I want them in the Big 12. I would like the Washington State in the Big 12. Welcome to West Virginia's conference, okay? Welcome to the Big 12 where the Mountaineers are climbing right up to the top of this. Texas and Oklahoma are on the way out. Probably the right time. Probably the right time to go to the SEC because what Neil Brown and West Virginia are doing is lights out right now, pal. I didn't even know who the starting quarterback was, okay? I said, listen, Nico Marchiol is going to do his thing. Didn't play. Garrett Green played. But Garrett Green was running wild, brother. And that's all we need to be reminded of. So, Wazoo fans, I will be openly campaigning for you guys to come to the Big 12 for the rest of the season. And that's only because you guys deserve to get smacked around a little bit, especially by some other schools that would love to be in the position that you guys have been in for 20 years on College Game Day. West Virginia, though, don't look now, D-Butt. Don't look now. Don't look now, 4-1.
Take note.
Yeah.
Don't look now, Kirk Herbstreit.
Playoffs.
What did it?
There's
Maybe. Hey.
The hope's still
alive. We don't
Who
know
they
how.
have this week? Who got this week?
Don't worry about it.
Tech?
Okay.
You got
cool,
Texas
cool.
Tech.
Duquesne?
Right? No.
Listen, the Dukes played them a lot better than these other Big 12 schools have, so don't you worry about Duquesne.
Yeah, we butt raced Duquesne. We killed them week 2, obviously. That's what we do at West Virginia. But TCU thought they had it all figured out. I saw a bunch of happy faces underneath cowboy hats down there at TCU before that game started. Then all of a sudden, just grind and pound. We will do this. And Neil Brown made a couple decisions in there that certainly, we're going, what do we do? Neil Brown's got the boys flying around.
Yeah.
Neil Brown. We're playing at Houston. Dana Holgerson's there. Count that as a dub. We're 5-1. Then Oklahoma State. Sorry about it. Your homecoming game. Oh, is that right?
No, it's your homecoming game. Versus Oklahoma State. That's at home.
It's at Milan.
So sorry. I don't like that we did that. Sorry about Oklahoma State. That should have been Duquesne there.
Yeah, for sure.
That should have been Duquesne there.
Both those teams stink.
Which is probably why they scheduled as the homecoming game. But still, jeez Louise.
Yeah,
You might win out.
UCF's going to be a tough task, but outside of that.
Who's backup for John Rice? He's been killing it. Rice.
Milan Puskar.
Milan Puskar. I believe it's pharmaceutical out of West Virginia.
Oh, it's not a company?
Push.
Yeah, probably a human company named after human, I think.
Okay.
Always been the name of the stadium.
He's an American entrepreneur and philanthropist.
Well, philanthropist is awesome. We need to start putting that on my shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a legit philanthropist. Yeah, it just gives money for no reason.
Yeah, but like the people who are disgustingly rich going, hey, I'm a philanthropist. It's like,
of course.
Yeah, you're forced to give your money pretty much.
We get it.
We get it.
Dude.
Okay. Milan Puskar, though. Great philanthropist.
Great dog, right?
Great philanthropist.
Rest in peace.
He's got to rest in peace.
Yeah.
Milan died?
Yeah, in 2011.
How?
Gone too soon.
You hit by a car?
No.
That's the big push?
I don't think I ever met him, so I cannot tell you if that's him or not. But if that is him, rest in peace, sir, and thank you for your service to West Virginia.
Thank you, Milan.
Looks like a Puskar.
Milan.
Oh.
Milan is...
He's dead, and you're just doing this right in his face.
No, he's a great guy. We just said that.
He goes by Mike, I guess.
Mike.
Oh, Mike.
All right.
I never was told that.
Mike Puskar?
I was never told that. I've never met this guy.
He only had to pay $20 million to get the stadium named after him.
For what, forever?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean,
should not be forever.
Isn't that the same as the Chris
Listen,
Bickle?
there's been some deals that have been signed in the past that have been pretty absurd. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if you give us $20 million. That was forever. I don't know. We'll just call it that because it has been named that for a long. They've done a lot of upgrades too. Philosophy and mission. Milan Puskar Foundation's mission is to improve the quality of life in the state of West Virginia. Hell yeah. Milan Mike Puskar exemplified a life of philanthropic giving for the benefit of individuals and communities. Mr. Puskar embodied generosity and transformed lives by support for academics, athletics, healthcare for the homeless.
Nice.
And medical research. Today, with a few of his passions, his foundation seeks to honor his memory and continue his legacy of enriching the lives of others. Thanks, Mike.
I didn't know Morgantown had homeless.
1934.
People who live there, actually.
Well, that's what homeless people are. They do live there, yeah. A lot of, I think guys that go there to school, and then they get caught up having a good time, and then they have a good time, and then all of a sudden they're having a time.
Yeah.
All by themselves.
Makes sense.
I think that's kind of the effects of it. Morgantown's not the city I'd want to be home.
No, it's a tough environment.
Just everywhere you're going, it's either this or this.
It's
You know
not
what I mean?
warm.
I was thinking strictly free beers being handed out to homeless
And
people.
hot dog guy late night too. Get you a nice little early breakfast if you want to wake up 2:30, 3 a.m.
Hot dog
Not a lot
water's
of
the best.
bathrooms open after midnight though. That's problematic.
Can't you pay the homeless people and just piss in their mouths or something?
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
What? Wait.
Let's
that
move
seems
along.
I thought that would help.
You're disgusting. You are absolutely disgusting.
I was strictly.
Mike Puskar is trying to take care of this whole thing, and you're just trying to put it down. You're a pig.
This is just strictly hydration reasons.
You're a bad guy.
Keep those people ready and spry.
I understand that's what AJ does. He drinks his own urine. There's no reason to do that to anybody else. Let's move to my favorite segment of the week. It is a segment in which we get to learn about how fan bases are feeling about their actual NFL teams. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for hashtag I don't want to overreact, but that's Ken Dorsey. I don't think he's overreacting. That reaction was just fine. So we put out a bird call every Monday morning and say, hey, let your NFL fandom out. You will not be judged. No, you will actually be celebrated. Ty Schmidt went through and picked
like 14, but just there were so many good ones. I just wanted to make sure we had our bases covered.
Let's run through them. All right, meow. Here's from Kung Fu Kilby. Shinigami and Kilby have had battles, and Kung Fu Kilby has been on top of his game. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are a wagon and the best team in the NFL. They made the Dolphins look like frauds that they are. And Josh Allen is going to be the MVP this year. The Finns won't make it anywhere until the defense can figure it out. Now, I also heard some people saying, let's squish the fish. Fun fact, Dolphins are mammals. They are not fish, but the Dolphins certainly got squished by the Buffalo Bills that are actually bison. So a lot of conversation there about the who's and the what's. All we do know is that the Bills certainly humbled the Dolphins. Do you believe that's the case? Are they the new kings, the new daddies of the entire NFL? Darius Butler, diehard Dolphins fan?
Nah, absolutely not. Josh Allen could very well win MVP this year. He keeps playing how he's playing. But far from frauds, early in the season. Good little road bump here. We'll be all right.
Let's go to another overreaction. Thank you, Kung Fu Kilby. This is a Noah Sharp. And Noah is Sharp. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Cowboys are the truth. We finally have a kicker. We are the King Slayers. Killed Brady, and now we killed Bill Belichick. What a shot from Noah Sharp and the Cowboys community. That Aubrey kicker was going to have a 66-yard attempt, I do believe, yesterday.
Yeah.
Then a penalty happened, made it 71. Was hoping that maybe he would get another opportunity at it. He seems to have quite a leg and doesn't get rattled at all. This Cowboys team bounced back beautifully, AJ. We think they're still the Kings or what?
I don't know. I mean, week to week, what do you know? What do we know week to week? The Cowboys now, you want to crown them. Last week, they're terrible. So what is it? What do you want to do?
Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Cowboys are Kings right now.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the Cowboys. I am a believer in the Cowboys because I think when you have a strong offense that can take the ball away, they can make up for a lot of mistakes. That if your offense, say, just has a down day, you can win those games that you might not win if you didn't have an elite defense.
Big Mike McCarthy doing his thing. Obviously, it's nice to see that. Loss of Diggs. Still going to be something that we are going to await the ripple effects of later in the season whenever they stare down a team that does have weapons and does have a quarterback, unlike the Patriots. Do you appreciate the fact that your team is now the team that teams are getting back on and getting excited about getting a big win over?
I'm very excited that Cowboys fans are reacting this way because if this is how they're reacting now, then they are just setting themselves up for total heartbreak later in the season, strictly because the Patriots are 6-point dogs and they really aren't that good.
The true Kings will be revealed on Sunday night when the Cowboys play the San Francisco 49ers.
Bingo.
And
A big part of that, interesting stat from Hembo here, Dak has the number 1 QB rating in the league this season when they're tied or leading. 84.8. 26th, though, whenever they're trailing. So you got the Niners. Going to be important to see who gets up early there. I don't know, why would that be, you think? What is the reasoning of that? Just different play calling, more running? Because when you're trailing, you're not running the ball as much? What do you think?
Not sure. A lot of the games that they've won this year, they didn't have much pressure on them offensively to put up points, and you don't see that explosive element in their offense. CeeDee Lamb has his time here and there, but the tight end position's not that great. Wide receivers don't create separation, down in, down out. So it is surprising. We'll see. Like you said, Sunday night it'll say a lot about this Cowboys team.
Okay, sweet. We got some breaking news in the middle of this. Jonathan Taylor will be practicing with the Indianapolis Colts on Wednesday.
Let's go. Let's go, JT.
How's the business look? Doesn't matter. How's he look on the field? If it's good, then business is good. We'll go on a record of stating that I think he and his agent completely bobbled this. This was a terrible attempt, bad move, did not know what the market looked like, did not appreciate the timing of the move that they made, but all can be forgiven and made up for if Jonathan Taylor comes back and balls, AJ. So I appreciate that. Can't wait to see him back in a Colts uniform, and I will let him know the way this offense is looking with Anthony,
tell you what,
could be pretty special. He's not getting introduced last anymore, though. I will. Whenever the offense gets introed, he will not be the last one introed because there's a new guy in town, in Anthony Richardson. But obviously, we're in a good spot if Jonathan Taylor's healthy and playing football.
you guys were there. I didn't see every snap. Did Anthony Richardson play every snap?
Played, finished, took some big shots.
Yeah.
Thought he was done. Took a shot. I go, that's it. He was limping a little bit.
Right before the 2-point.
Bingo.
Yep.
And then boom, 2-point gets it.
Yep.
And then he finishes it, has a great fourth quarter. I mean, it's the first game he's finished, which is good news.
Yeah.
Was ready for Minshew Mania if we needed it.
Oh, yeah.
Great comeback, too.
Was ready for it. But with Jonathan Taylor, if he looks like he looked 2 years ago,
oh boy,
wow,
look out.
That'd be awesome.
And then you got Moss too, who's been playing well. So
Randy?
Great.
Zach.
Zach Moss.
Have a little respect.
Cousin of Sonoris.
It's not
Santana
that.
Moss.
Should
But
be.
dog.
Zach is a dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got him from the Bills. Yeah, good pickup.
And the offensive line looks like they're playing much better than they played last year.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Pittman's look good, too.
What's Jonathan Taylor going to say that first day back? That's going to be a press conference.
I don't know.
I fucked up.
Okay, I fudged up. I ended up with no money now. You know what I mean? Now I got other teams thinking I'm a bad guy.
Exactly.
Everybody thought I was a mayor. Everybody thought I was a hero. Now I'm a little bit of a, but he's going to come back, do well, and everybody's going to forget about all this.
Well, no one, I mean, other than like outside of diehard Colts people that hold grudges, if he comes back and he dominates and he plays like he did a couple years ago, this will be forgotten.
Yeah, other teams will say, this is why he was saying.
Uh-huh.
This is why he was saying what he was saying. If he looks like what he looked like a few years back, which is a hilarious thing to think about. He was bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. Now, last season, injured, didn't play every single game. The run game was terrible. Team was terrible. He said after the season he's going to play out his contract. Then when everybody spent all their money and made their decisions, he said, I want a new one, held out, caused the cancer scene almost in the locker room with a new culture being put in, with a new guy. Just, we'll forget about it. Just play good football, JT. Play good football.
Good luck.
Take the high
All that
road.
matters.
I like his agent has liked tweets saying that I'm Jim Irsay's mouthpiece. And it's like, sure, Jim Irsay comes on this show, but I don't know what Jim Irsay's going to ever say.
No.
I am just simply pointing out the facts. You guys made a fucking bad move, okay? It was a bad move. The way you went about it, you didn't get more money. He's hated by the people that loved him, and it's been an uncomfortable situation. So if he comes back in balls, let's go.
Yep.
And then let's start shaking some hands, agent. Instead of liking tweets about me being a mouthpiece, let's go ahead and send some tweets to Jim Irsay saying, great dancing at halftime.
Yeah, he cried.
Really appreciate what you did. You know,
So sorry to hear about Takate.
because then, Lolita, because then maybe through season doing business, which humans do, the internet doesn't do business. Humans do business. Maybe he crushes it the next 5-6 weeks. Then we have an opportunity to maybe revisit the whole conversation to get a little bit more money instead of, everything that it was.
Did Jim Irsay really dance at halftime?
Yep.
Yeah.
He did. Yep.
What was the overall performance, or was he the performance, only him?
So it was the youth cheerleaders.
Yep.
Which is like 500 girls, I think ranging probably from like ages 6, it looked like, to about 12.
Yeah, even some
A lot
more.
of tickets, a lot of people in the stands. It's smart.
Yeah, they bingo. But they were
Bust them in.
dancing with their grandparents. So it was grandparents
Really?
with the cheerleaders. So the youth cheerleaders started on the field. There's like 500. Yeah, there we go. There's Jim Irsay with his granddaughters who were a part of the youth cheerleaders. So the youth cheerleaders are on the field all by themselves doing their dance. Then music change, and then grandparents come running onto the field with and they're doing now a choreographed dance. Jim Irsay was one of the grandparents going out there just doing his thing.
Yep.
Oh, good for him. That's awesome. His grandkids will remember that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially once
Everybody was doing a different dance than Jim. I will say. I think Jim missed the choreography part of it. I don't know if he was told
He didn't
exactly.
go to rehearsals.
I don't think so. He was starting to do like this type of dancing, holding her hands, and there was like full moves that were happening. Everybody else was trying to do. Jim Irsay was out there having a good time.
He was high stepping at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and it really threw
My
everyone
knees?
off when he came out and Crazy Bitch started playing, and all the kids were like, I don't even know what this song is.
That is not. What is your problem?
That's what happens. You said the music changed. Hey, you're crazy bitch.
That was not the song that they were using for the youth cheerleaders.
Oh,
Just
geez.
one of that song did have a run though.
Yeah, it did.
Do you remember how angry people got at bars whenever that song would come on? Everybody was yelling that.
Yep.
Great song.
What's that other song that had a little bit of a run back then?
Cherry Pie. Jeez, my cherry pie.
That's way back.
Yeah, a little different time.
That's way back.
Okay.
Pocket full of sunshine.
Great song. That was my alarm for a while. That's about cocaine.
Really?
Is that right?
That's what I've
Natasha
been
was
told.
singing about cocaine.
That's what I've been told, yeah. Because it was my alarm clock at one point, and I was in a hotel room with like 7 people because we didn't have enough money to get a hotel room. And it was in the bottom of a bag. And I guess I had 5:30 a.m. alarm set.
To get to work.
So, boy, everybody else in that hotel room was not happy that I got a pocket that I pocket full of sunshine. I got a pocket on my hoe. So first it was, whose is that? And I was sleeping through it. I was still sleeping. So then there was another yell. It was somebody's yell that woke me up, not the song.
Sure. Oh.
So then I wake up and whose phone is that? And I go, oh, that's me. I apologize. And obviously they start roasting the song and then attacking me, and then I can't get to it because of where it was. So that thing played for an entirety of its entire, and I learned a lot about it. And that morning was certainly one that we'll never forget, but that was a banger there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's about cocaine. You know that song?
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Come on.
No, I don't. I've learned another
Natasha
song about
Bedingfield?
drugs too. I didn't know
Which
Watermelon
one?
Sugar song.
Huh?
Which one?
No.
Watermelon Sugar.
That's about vagina.
Oh, see,
Is that right?
Please.
It's about oral sex. He talks about it. Yeah.
Is it really?
You sure?
What is your
You
problem?
talking Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about oral sex.
Watermelon sugar high.
That's about vagina.
Okay.
and
All
oral
right.
sex.
Google it. Google it, fellas.
It's your delivery, I think, not the information.
Talking about oral
What do you mean?
sex.
I can't.
No, it's about vagina. It's vagina.
Yeah.
It was the way you said vagina and oral
Yeah. You were just a little bit matter of fact there, which we
I
appreciate.
want to make sure you can hear me. I want to make sure.
We heard you. Yeah, thanks for doing your research too, AJ.
Yeah.
Who sung that?
Hey,
that other song?
someone told that to me.
Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah. She got a couple bangers. Unwritten.
It's a great video. They're driving through the countryside at sunset, I believe. Yeah.
And she's just ripping coke.
We don't know if that's true, but
video.
they do say that it is about the pocket full of sunshine is the
Makes sense.
never-ending energy you're about to get.
Sure.
I get accused of doing that drug more than anything in my life.
Yeah, me too.
It is wild. It's like, hey, no. I've tried it, and boy, did I hate myself in the morning.
You hated it. Yeah.
I have never felt worse about old Pat McAfee than the day after that.
I mean, mentally or physically or both?
I mean, physically, you're just exhausted, obviously, but like mentally, I was like, what are you doing? You know, like had like one of those actual conversations of like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't need it, first of all. But then you just, can't do it. So anytime somebody says it about me, I'm like, I appreciate you thinking that I'm on performance enhancing drugs right now with how much happiness and energy that I have. But also follow up, terrible drug. Just not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all. A lot of my friends, that has kind of led. People call marijuana a gateway drug. It's like, okay, maybe I guess if you smoke weed, you'll probably do other drugs. If you smoke cigs too, probably going to do
For sure.
other drugs and stuff like that. But it's like once somebody is into the cocaine, I think then that's when you start like, what else
Yeah.
is potentially happening? So I appreciate everybody complimenting my energy, saying it is not real, but it is not my thing, baby. And then Adderall is another one. I get a lot of that tossed at me. I hate it. You hear me talk. You think I'm on Adderall, you're out of your mind. It's the worst Adderall of all time. I'm a squirrel, just like that ain't me. You know what I mean? These are all natural. And these people,
It's a compliment.
I don't know, dude. The way
It is. If
people
someone
say
thinks you're, I mean,
They don't
someone
need
thinks
for
you
it.
have so much juice that you're on coke. Like, thank you. You should just say thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, you're right. Thank you so much. Just yell in their face. It is awesome, though. It is exhausting to be around me full time, though. So just know that I understand that as well. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? This is from Lauda Sports Media at Lauda_sports. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Belichick might need to leave the Patriots to break Shula's all-time win records. Wow. Organization program can't get it done. Maybe they're holding Bill back. Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, he doesn't have to leave because he'll win 7 games for the next 5 years every year without a problem, not even think about it twice. And I believe he is 29 games out from it. But yeah, if he wants that to happen in the next 3 years, then he will definitely need to leave the Patriots unless he just says, you know what, let's go 1-16. Fuck it. Just go 1-16, Bill, and then get a quarterback of the future and break that record in 2 years.
And new OC?
No, I love Bill O'Brien. Not his problem.
Okay. They put 3 on the board yesterday.
Need a new O-line.
OC, completely okay.
Well, I mean, that's like the defense. 38-3, but they had 2 pick sixes. Like the defense didn't play that bad, but it looks like they did. And I think it's not the same thing for the offense because they did play terrible. He's just working with nobody. There's just no one on the team. I forget who comes. I think it's Lombardi who comes on here and says wins consistently. Maybe it's Orlovsky. They view things kind of similarly, so it makes sense. But there's just no one that Mac Jones can say on any down. Okay, I know what they're in, and I know he's going to be open. We don't have any of that.
Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? Maybe Lauda's on to something. It's from Shambrow. ShamWow took over for a bit too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now we talked about some drugs. ShamWow guy,
Vince.
all of them. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Vic Fangio is washed.
Whoa.
Defense was better under Boyer. I said it. Dolphins have a long way to go if this defense keeps playing the way it is. Hey, what's going on, Gump? We out on Fangio over there?
That is an overreaction, and he is wrong. Boyer was terrible last year. We ran 0 blitz. We got Ramsey coming back. I would say that Axe probably should have followed Stephon Diggs yesterday, though, because the other corner was getting cooked.
Yeah, so the thing about the Jalen Ramsey stuff, you never saw him play, so it's probably easier pill to swallow because we don't even know what that defense is going to look like.
Yeah.
Without him or with him. Is he a missing piece, though, for that?
Yeah, he was missing piece. That's an all-pro, top 5 corner when he's out there. And he's a guy that you can move outside or inside depending on who you're playing. So a guy like Diggs who moves around a lot, you'll be able to put Ramsey on him. Hopefully he'll get back out there. But, I mean, I don't care who's calling the plays. We got to tackle better. You saw that play with Stephon Diggs where corners holding him up, safety comes in, he breaks both of them, goes for however long. We got to tackle better. I could care less what they're calling. You got to do your job out there.
Tyreek was wide open a couple times.
Yeah, he was.
Why don't they cover that guy? You know what I mean? Why don't they cover Tyreek? Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? This is from Hedging My Happiness, respect, at DD_FIFO. Fucking idiot from Ohio? Are you reading the same thing I am?
Yeah.
I believe so.
That's what.
Because it could be like business-wise, first in, first out.
Could.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be that.
And DD, designated driver, first in, first out.
Okay. Or it could be designated driver because of AA, fucking idiot from Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I know.
I love
I
it.
know in my sphere, 5 of those. I don't know about you, AJ. I couldn't even fathom the number of people. But is that what you're reading there, AJ? Do we think that is an Ohio person there?
Oh, yeah, I would believe so, especially with, it's a Cleveland tweet. So, yeah, most likely Ohio.
Shout out to them just doing that. New Philadelphia, Ohio. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And all around Ohio. Okay. All right. We appreciate this, FIFO here. Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But the sand in the Kevin Stefanski hourglass is running out. Watson, DTR, Chubb, no Chubb, doesn't matter. He can't effectively call plays. He can't adjust mid-game at all. He's your typical Ivy League educated moron. Hashtag dog pound. AJ, your thoughts on Kevin Stefanski maybe being the problem up there?
Okay, do they want Freddie Kitchens back? Like, what do you want? You gotta understand what you want, man. Like, I don't know. Stefanski, is he the answer? Cleveland has a proven track record of being a tough place to win a lot of football games over the last 15, 20, 30 years, whatever it might be. They've had glimpses of being a really good football team, but they can't consistently do it. I don't know if Stefanski is the answer or not, though. You need your quarterback. Your quarterback,
Have we talked about
to play, and then he can't play though, and he doesn't play. Stefanski says he trusts him. He knows his body better than us. Of course he does, but I wonder if they actually thought, like, hey, he's actually going to play though, right? He's gonna go.
And I don't want to sound like rude.
Sure.
Rude.
Sure.
Okay.
None of us do.
And I don't like to bring this type of stuff up normally because it's not our style of show. We are a very player-friendly show. I feel like we have been. We'll call out dumb stuff. Like we have to. Okay, have to have some legitimacy, but we are viewing things through the lens of of players. $230 million guaranteed, cleared to play, not playing. That's a wild thing. That's a wild thing that we have to talk about. And I assume the Browns were not expecting that. In every single game, Deshaun was getting better, right? I think we were always seeing glimpses of him getting better.
Best game last week.
Bingo. Yeah. So I wonder how many snaps DTR got. You know what I mean? And how many?
I think he got a lot of them during the week because I think Watson barely threw throughout the week. So, like Shefty said, maybe he got out there on Friday or Saturday, whatever it was, just like, you know what, it's not just right. Let me give it one more week to heal up. But, I mean, hey, you want to be out there with your guys. You only got 17 of these. It is a tough division. But maybe he just feels, or maybe the doctors told him, hey, you know what, you give it 1 week of rest. It may be better. What is the exact injury? Do we know? Is it like an AC joint?
Shoulder, I believe.
Shoulder.
Okay, then go into detail.
Yeah, division game, though. Like, I understand that thing.
Week 4.
I saw he had a heated towel on his shoulder at some point.
Yeah, was it raining? Was it wet there yesterday?
What, the towel?
Yeah, what was that?
Always has the towel.
Oh, okay.
Need the towel.
It's a
Let's get to another overreaction. Always has
What are you
the
guys
towel.
trying to say?
Nothing.
Always has the towel.
It's like a lucky blankie.
Yeah, a lot of people do towels. I'm a sweaty guy. I'll do a towel every once in a while. You give me in public, just put it over. Yeah. Wherever
He just always brings his own.
Yeah, not in super hot places.
No.
Let's go to another overreaction. I did not expect them to say he was cleared to play.
Oh yeah. No.
You know, I didn't have to say that. That did not have to come out publicly.
No.
Kind of buried.
This is from Cole Edwards at Cole Doesn't Care 8. Hashtag, I wonder how many Cole does. I guess there were 7 other Cole Doesn't Cares.
Must have been.
Hashtag, I don't want to overreact, but what's the point, dude? There's nothing anyone can say about Matt Canada that hasn't been said before or isn't true. Fuck you, Matt, says Cole. I don't know if this is a reaction. It seems like a pretty devastated reaction.
Yeah. Spot on.
This guy's quit.
Could have said that better myself.
Yeah, that guy nailed it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to put in this little post here. Everything's already been said. It's all true. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
It's true.
I respect that.
All the stats are out there. Everyone's tweeting them. Yeah. Well said.
That might be our best overreaction tweet of all time.
I laughed real hard with that one earlier. I was dying.
Hey, this is a fun little game that you guys let us do, and I enjoy these normally, but there's nothing else that needs to be said. Is in your little overreaction world, this guy stinks. The stats prove it. Put that 400-yard one up again, because I don't think I had it 100% accurate, but they are bad.
It would suck to be Matt Canada right
You
now.
asked me when.
It would not be a fun game.
Well, how does it feel to be a Steelers fan? I mean,
all of the above, everyone involved. It was not a great situation right now.
The streak continues. Steelers have now gone 39 straight games under OC Matt Canada without gaining 400 yards. During that span, other teams have gained 400 yards 295 times, or 9.5 times per team. Steelers had 225 yards today. They've been under 300 in 3 of 4 games this season. And it's like, I think people hear 400, they think that's a big number. Remember, in this NFL now, they are promoting getting numbers. And there's teams that aren't good that are getting 300, 400 yards of offense on a regular basis just because that's how football is right now. Teams, defenses are playing shell defenses. So in the middle of the fields, there's a lot of yards being gained by people. Then red zone clamping down. So you're seeing these stats get ridiculous. Fantasy football is doing well. Yards bets are doing well. It's electrifying. It's entertaining. And then defenses are locking down whenever it matters. So, like, the yards gain thing at this stage of football seems to be easier than it's ever been. And the Steelers think it's trig over there. You guys are doing not only algebra, it's impossible for you guys to gain a yard. And I'm sorry that you guys got to live this and watch this. This is what the Colts were last year. It is a miserable existence watching football.
It's absolutely miserable. We talk about, like,
it's rugby. You're watching rugby.
Yeah. When your team is losing and they are very, 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 very unexciting to watch, it's a tough pill to swallow. But when you asked earlier, like, when's the last time they went under or over 400 yards under Matt Canada, I said never. I wasn't joking. I don't think it's ever happened.
It's wild.
It's also just tough to swallow when you look at like the Dolphins put up like 700 yards on the Broncos. Like, they put up more yards in
The
one
Houston
game.
Texans with 4 backup linemen put up, what did I put up, 450 yesterday?
CJ had 306 on his own, so probably.
Pat, have you ever seen this? They cut to Matt Canada on every offensive drive the Steelers have.
Yeah,
Camera cuts.
He's the Taylor Swift of the Steelers games.
The networks know. The networks know, like, how Steelers fans feel. Let me get the exact yardage here. So let me find it. CJ Stroud. Here we go.
That fourth.
CJ Stroud threw for 306 yards. Okay. Damian Pierce rushed for 81 yards just by himself. I assume there's other yards there. They're at 400 some yards already against your defense. That's incredible. And that's the Texans.
450, yeah.
They just got that quarterback. It's like, there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuses for why it doesn't work in the modern NFL. And Tomlin just being as loyal as he is awesome. Like, very much appreciate that Tomlin is the way he is. But at some point, you got to put a brand of football in the field.
Yeah.
Like, Tomlin hates watching it, I assume. You know,
I would assume so.
He has to.
It's a loud fan base, too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Great fan base, but loud. And I didn't watch much of that game. When I turned to it, they had that 4th and 1. The play Kenny actually got hurt on. And I just kind of paused it. Like, you got, like, 3 guys 15, 20 yards down the field, maybe 2 around the stick. But
When the play came in, there was 2 offensive linemen who kind of looked to the sideline like, that's what we're going to do in this situation.
4th and 1 like that, you want a quick play. You know, most guys around the sticks. Maybe you got one deep option. Maybe you got an option for the quarterback to run, like just something. But to have that, and then I put a tweet on it. All the Pittsburgh fans, like, yep, this is what we're dealing with. Everybody saw some Matt Canada drives out there.
Yeah, a lot of memes on old Matt Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. He is, all eyes are on him. Tomlin has to do something. At some point, he's got to do something.
What's he going to do, though? Promote from within something? What do you do?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Boom.
You think Ben, well, would Ben be willing to do that?
But they got to pay him. Listen,
If Ben came back to coach, he's just going to play. He's like, well, just give me a uniform in case, because I think once I get out there, I'll
imagine
be
him calling plays full pads.
Yes.
Oh.
Just show up on Sundays, call plays.
He's like, forget it. He just tosses his helmet on, he goes in. He's like, yeah, I got it.
Let him Zoom call in. You know what I mean? Let him Zoom call in the meetings, kind of understand where it's at. He's going to have to call Thursday and Friday, though. Like, going to have to call.
Well, if Kenny's hurt, yeah, maybe he just does come back and finish the season out as OC quarterback.
Player coach.
Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
That'd be sick if Ben Roethlisberger's out there. I wonder what this play is going to be. It's going to be a touchdown.
Yep. Pickens.
Every time.
The bomb.
Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? Pittsburgh, yeah, we agree, dead. Rex, gon' give it to you.
What?
He's gon' give it to you.
What?
Rex gon' give it to you. At Z-Rex. Get it? 92. I like that. Hashtag I don't overreact, but Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud are the next Manning, Brady, QB duo. They're also good friends, I do believe. Whenever they saw each other, they dapped each other up. Yeah, we got two good ones. Now, C.J. Stroud's stats and optics and old schoolness of quarterback, much more beautiful style. I appreciate what he has been able to do very quickly. Night one of his preseason, his first 2 drives, I put out a couple posts about it. I'm like, C.J. looks good. Then he threw a pick at the end of the one drive, and I got murdered. I'm like, he looks the part. Like, he just looked comfortable. He made a mistake there in coverage. I think since day one, he has been mature enough to be an NFL guy. Here's a press conference after the game where C.J. Stroud actually chatted about Houston Texans fans and his thoughts about him. They got a guy down there. Here's C.J.
That ain't flying from, like, anybody in this building. I want them to know, like, we're frying our tails off every day to make sure y'all walk around with Texan gear pride. Like, y'all walk around with that swag that we walk around with when we get a dub. And for me, I take that real personal because I don't like being bagged on by my teams. Like, when my Lakers lose, I'll be pissed. So, like, I take that stuff real serious, man. And it's up to us to work every day and put the work in. And like you've seen, I mean, the Steelers fan came and they showed out today in our stadium, and we sent them home. And I think our fans felt the energy. Like, man, we ain't playing today. Like, from the get-go. So I just want to say, man, like, we're gonna keep fighting every day just so y'all can walk around with that swag. I think that's huge, man, for this team. That's something that we want to keep building on. And it's a blessing to be able to be in Houston, like a great town with a lot of stuff to do, great people.
It is.
Southern hospitality to its finest.
Smart.
And I'm falling in love with the city little by little. So it's a blessing.
It is a beautiful city down there in Houston. I've had a lot of great times, and JJ's in town. I'm sure JJ and CJ got a chance to chat about Houston and about everything it stands for. Whenever you hear that, though, I hear very mature. That's a leader right there who loves what he's doing. He has thrown, I forget how many balls, 100 and some.
151.
151 attempts, no pick, like greatest start basically for a rookie quarterback. He is seemingly day one just picked right up to what this is.
Yeah, and it's not like he's dropped in a situation where like kind of Andrew Luck was, where you had Reggie Wayne and T.Y., and he's throwing to guys that are kind of making a name for themselves alongside of him. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, like these guys who are young guys as well coming up with him, and just to hear him talk, the mindset with him. When you go new head coach, new quarterback, like that's a big change, and they're definitely going in the right direction, especially from where the Houston Texans were, 5-6 years ago, where
Months
like they were headed. Yeah, it was looking crazy. So for them to be going in the right direction right now, it's great for them.
AJ, Ohio State quarterback seems to get it right here, huh? This is good news for the Ohio State.
I mean, yeah, hopefully he will continue his play and only get better and better. But I think you're right. When you watch him play, he just seems comfortable. Doesn't seem like he's overwhelmed. Seems like, hey, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing here. And then obviously his post-game comments, smart, obviously very smart guy. Like, to tell him, I believe him. I think he's telling the truth. But like, you could tell this guy is bought in. He is all in on Houston, on that team, and he takes pride in it. I think that'll absolutely I think that trickles through the rest of the locker room, and D'Amico, the head coach, has to absolutely love it.
Yeah, the Texans are going to be a problem. Need to understand that. But when you talk about Anthony Richardson, he's a different style. Him and C.J. Stroud do not play anywhere near similar. That first half, not great. Things did not look good. Going into halftime, a lot of the boys walking in the locker room, down 20 zip or whatever, thought there was a little urgency here, boys.
Yeah,
because we're all kind of learning about them. But this Shane Steichen character with Anthony Richardson, I think they're always going to be in it. I think they're always going to be cooking. And Anthony is electrifying to watch because any play, he can either run somebody over or pull away from somebody. And it's that type of offense that I'm enjoying. But also the AFC South's got two guys, hopefully for the next 10 years, that are going to be able to play great football.
Maybe 3 with Trevor.
Definitely 3.
Yeah, I guess Trevor's already proven himself. If Doug Peterson's going to do his thing.
I think what you just mentioned, though, could potentially be the biggest difference between these two guys. You know that Steichen is going to be there calling plays for Anthony Richardson for, however long it's going to be. Like, CJ, Bobby Slowick coming from, the 49ers, like being a Shanahan disciple, if he's really good, like if the Texans win 9 games or 8 games this year, like there's a good chance like his name's going to get real hot and he's going to get head coaching opportunities.
New offense.
Exactly. So like that is the one thing, like where if you're a Colts fan, it's like, hey, we got our guy. We found our head coach. He's going to be calling plays here probably throughout the duration of, Anthony Richardson's career unless things go really bad. Whereas C.J. Stroud, it's like, you come out like gangbusters this year, and then are you just going to lose your
You did
OC?
too good.
Yeah, exactly.
You did too good. So guess what? You win. Another offense.
Right.
Congrats.
Good news.
Here comes
Congratulations.
back Canada.
And that's the whole convo about defensive head coaches versus offensive coaches, who gets plucked, who doesn't. and everything needs to be, talked about. The little things need to be talked about. Anthony Richardson, that 360 spike, that's going to become just
so cool.
The marketing around, like the amount of
commercials.
Dude,
you know how many kids and adults are going to get hurt trying to do this in their backyard?
How high he is?
Yeah, that is.
He is so high. He's floating.
So high, and then that ball hits flat and takes off.
Boom.
Like you think he's done rising, and he goes up another 9 inches.
Yeah, it's like, hey, AR, you're one of the only humans that can do that.
Jeez.
So let's make sure. 6'4", 250. That guy.
Freak.
But he had like a 44-inch vert or something crazy.
Yeah, all day long in the red zone. If I'm on the 5-yard line in, I am having so many QB runs with him. Tebow jump passes off of it, everything you can think of.
Which we hope he can live.
Continue.
Stay healthy.
Short. I don't need him running a whole lot in the field, but down there, man.
We do.
6'4", 250 in the quarterback position. Come on now.
He's our only weapon, bro. He really is. Like Zach Moss gets good yards. Alec Pierce made a big time catch.
Pittman's good.
Pittman makes some plays, but it's like most of this is AR running, AR doing this, AR doing that. It's like we need him to stay alive. And we asked Shane Steichen about it on the show, and he goes, "It's something he's really good at."
Yeah.
So we want to protect him, but also the reason why we draft him at 4 is because he can see also. We need him to be able to run. It's just a part of it. And I think Colts fans love it. We're living and dying, though, with every single time he's on the ground. Get up.
Oh, no.
Get up, 5.
It's good to know you have Gardner, though, honestly. It's good to know Gardner's there.
Vastly different offenses when Gardner's in and when AR's in, which is another compliment to Shane Steichen. Go ahead.
To your point, AJ, you talked about the Tim Tebow jump pass. Like, Derrick Henry did that yesterday. But if you're the Colts, you don't have to do that because your quarterback is the same size as Derrick Henry.
That's the team we have not talked about because we only talked about the Bengals.
Yeah, Titans.
Derrick Henry train started rolling down the tracks.
Yes, it did.
D-Hop made some plays. Tannehill dropped some in a bucket. I mean, the Titans look like everything that we had hoped the Titans could look like. And their defense, we're talking about Joe Burrow not being good and everything like that. Their defense is the reason why that conversation's happening today, which Vrabel has always had a great defense. They smacked Cincinnati in the mouth, AJ. That's what the Titans did, and that's who the Titans are.
I mean, we just watched this run 3 or 4 times. He is not supposed to score on that play. Like, he's supposed to get tackled for like a 6, 7, 8 yard gain. I don't know what it might be, but yeah, once he gets going, good luck. Good luck ever stopping him, especially when we knew Cincinnati's offense was going to be, going to be tough to get a whole lot going with Joe and his calf. But it was fun to watch Derrick Henry get going. It's really the first time we've seen him kind of open it up this year.
That was a great spike right there.
Yeah.
They had
go ahead.
Sweet celebration that game too. A drumline one.
Yeah.
The whole team did it in the end zone. It's dope. But yeah, they just beat their ass all 60 minutes.
Vrabel's got to love that. I think the way they attack Joe too, probably blueprint how a lot of people are going to start doing it now. If he can't move, this is what we're going to do. And it's like Jamar Chase said he was always open. I don't think Joe Burrow had a chance to.
No.
Oh, are you? Thanks. I'll watch the film later. I was on the ground.
Yeah.
So let me figure out how I can get my eyes to go gadget up and see you. There's a lot of problems over there in Cincy, but the Titans seem to have figured something out. Let's hope. Tannehill played his best football I've seen
for sure
in a long, long time. Let's go to another overreaction. Do we have any more?
Boom.
Boom. This is from Lee Mosarak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mosurak.
Mosarak.
Sewer rat.
Mosurak.
Mosurak.
Yes, there it is.
Lee Mosarak.
Mm-hmm.
At L Mosarak.
Boom.
Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But Zach Wilson's talent was never the problem. The New York Jets coaching is horrendous. Sure, he's immature, but the talent is there, and they should just let Aaron run everything. Now, AJ, I didn't see him run last night, but I did see him basically walk here just a couple weeks after an Achilles injury. You think he wants to be calling plays out there? You think he was getting a little bit antsy while he's sitting up there in a booth with no control, watching the boys battle and do their thing? What do you think was running through Aaron's head while he's watching the Jets last night, AJ?
It's probably a bit like sad that he wasn't out there with his guys, wasn't able to play. He was probably also a little excited to be back in there, and you saw him kind of bebopping on the sideline with his crutches, showing everybody like, hey, yeah, look at this. You haven't seen this before, have you? I'm only, 2 weeks out of surgery, whatever it might be, and he's kind of using his crutches about 30% at times and slinging the ball around a little bit. So I was worried he was going to stay on the sideline for the game because he even said, like, until I'm able to move out of the way of someone coming flying off the sidelines, I can't do it. But, yeah, he was in the box with Woody and then what I assume like Woody's family and friends.
Yeah, and I think Wolverine and Deadpool came over to say what's up. But like he, that's let me get one. and then he spins it. He doesn't even watch it finish.
He gave a little.
Yeah, he
Still got it.
Yeah, that was a. Yep, still got it. No laces. Thanks. Let me get on these crutches. I got to go talk over here to Travis. Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
said
that was
really
a good
good.
ball.
Yeah, that was
Feels
good. There's, people on the internet are saying there's no way this guy tore his Achilles. He's already doing that whole thing. That's what people are saying.
Maybe he's just different.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they are.
Cyborg.
Maybe he's just different.
I'm joking, dude. Imagine if he was. Yeah, my Achilles has been immunized. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Certainly possible.
I hope it was.
Him coming out and saying I plan on playing by the end of the year.
I cannot believe he was moving like that.
Me neither.
It's crazy.
What a bananas thing. Because what, Cam Akers was 3.5 months?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
I think it was even more.
4.5 months?
Yeah.
And he had that in his. He said, Cam came back 4.5. Other people came back 4.5. So he has all these dates of what is possible, what is not possible around and in his head. And I don't think he's doing anything other than rehab. What are they saying here, AJ? What do you think they're talking about? Achilles stuff, treatment?
I mean, yeah. What could they be talking about for real? Aaron's got his sunglasses on. I see Jeff Ulbrich, the D coordinator, right there, just moseys on. He's like, yeah, I'm going to let Aaron go. I don't need to be a part of this conversation.
I do appreciate that they were chatting because in Hard Knocks, we saw that guy pay a lot of love to Aaron. So I think Aaron found out through watching Hard Knocks, like, all right, got a good ally in that particular guy. That was one of the first conversations we saw him have on the sideline. Would be excited to hear what Travis and he were chatting about. But were you the one texting him up in the booth whenever he was up in suite? Was that you?
No, but I, like everybody else, the second I see him on his phone, I think, man, I wish I could get a way to send him something good where I knew I could see his reaction on camera.
So how many dong shots did you send?
Yeah,
something. I mean, it was too late. I already missed my opportunity.
I think there'll be another one. Is he staying out there? Do you know?
I don't know.
No,
I don't
they
know
said
what his
on
plan
the
is.
they said on the broadcast last night that he is flying back to Cali to get his stitches removed.
Oh, but he also said that when he went to OTAs, he was going to fly back to Cali, remember?
Yep.
And then he didn't because of how much he fell in love.
You can get your stitches out anywhere. You can take your own stitches out if you need to.
I'm not a doctor. You aren't either.
No, I know, but I'm saying stitch removal is nothing.
He also said he wanted to be in Malibu when he gets the sutures out so he can soak them in the ocean.
Oh, yeah, because the
For
dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphin semen goes over and heals, right?
No, it's the noises.
Yeah. Of the make.
I thought he meant they excreted semen and he puts his foot in the path.
I don't know if it was any of the frothy stuff from the dolphins, but I do know it was like the red light treatment is what they were talking about with the sonar.
Bingo.
How about them writing actual reports on that?
Pretty cool.
A lot of them.
It's kind of like Tovid. It was a Tovid throwback.
Oh, my God, Tovid was That was a nice little dip of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People breaking down what he's saying. What if the dolphin noise does, though? What if 20 years from now you find out? Dolphin noises have the ability to cure blah, 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 blah.
Torn Achilles.
Everything.
Did we get that dolphin out of the Miami? What are you guys doing?
No, we're
Why do
still
you guys
working on
have so many whales and dolphins just trapped in these terrible...
People keep coming and visiting them, man. It's terrible.
Don't blame
No, these people, this is like a shut down aquarium.
Yeah.
I think this dolphin's just swimming around in.
Keeping it in a pool.
Costs a lot of money.
Why don't you go save this dolphin?
I don't know.
That's down in South Florida.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Got to ask Jim about that one.
No, Jim ain't fucking with the dolphin.
Yeah, not
Jim's
anymore.
dumb with the sea.
Where's he at now?
Baby elephants. He's in the savannah now.
What's he doing with the baby elephant?
I don't know. Probably something weird, something dumb, something that doesn't help your football team. But still honorable.
This guy.
Yep.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
quite
what he's
deadly.
doing.
This guy.
You've had quite a day.
Well, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
All right, last overreaction here before we get out of here on this Overreaction Monday. Here's from Todd at Darth Dad 2. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Bengals are dead. Sell the team. Tear down the stadium. Turn it into a strip club. That's a beautiful way to end Overreaction Monday. That is exactly how you're supposed to feel whenever you're a fan of a football team. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this beautiful Overreaction Monday. It's already October. Let's remember that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's already October. Let's enjoy all of this. We're in Halloween month now.
Go.
Great month. This is a great month.
Great month. And then the hot weather starts breaking, starts getting comfortable.
Oh.
And then Thanksgiving,
What?
and Christmas,
What?
and New Year's,
What?
and playoff football.
What?
Oh, my God. We're here. Let's enjoy it all. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. AJ, before we get out of here, 1.5 Seahawks are favored by. Who do you like, and how are you taking it?
I like the Seahawks -1.5 on the road here. Bobby Wagner, get a pick. Get a turnover, Bobby. Either he's going to cause the fumble or get a pick.
Darius, what do you like?
Same. Seahawks love it. I think Jamal Adams comes and has an impact on this game as well.
Can you put the graphic up from this past weekend? 6, 9, 5, 10. Sweet. I like the Seahawks as well. All right.
Good pick.
Hold on, what's going on?
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
Good pick.
Yeah, that was a fun weekend. We got killed, AJ. We got absolutely slaughtered which would probably tell me that sportsbooks won a lot this weekend, if I had to guess. And
I know they won a lot.
you like the Seahawks tonight? I like the Seahawks. Yeah, because Patrick Mahomes slid, buddy.
I'll take the Giants tonight. Why not?
All right, I was thinking the Giants as well.
Okay.
That was kind of the thing.
I like that.
That was kind of the thing about it. I was thinking the Giants as well. So who are you on?
I'm on the Giants right now.
Me too right now. You
Okay.
want me too. We'll both take the Giants. Plus the points at home, AJ. I thought that was a good decision
Gotta
by
love
both of us, especially over there in MetLife. Would you like to stick with the Giants?
Yeah, I'll take the Giants.
All right. Me too. All right, let's get the hell out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Remember, there's a Manning cast tonight with Will Ferrell on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And also
Sean O'Hara.
And maybe an Apple surprise guest for the third one. Who was supposed to be the third? We shall see. We'll ask. We'll continue to press.
Yeah.
And until then, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Goodbye.
Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks as well.
Seahawks for me.
I got the Seahawks as well.
All right, give me the Giants, guys. Good show.
All right, I got the Giants as well. All right, so I think he's on the Giants.
He's on the Giants.
All right, we're on the Giants. All right, goodbye.